So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Welcome to Severance Field here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for our High School Sports Live TV pregame show brought to you by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. I am Gary Sutton. It is Manheim Township 9-3 against Harrisburg, 9-2 for the District 3 championship, but also for the right to play in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association State Championship semifinals. And the winner of this game will meet up with State College. They both know a little something about State College this year as well. But I'm Gary Sutton, and I'm here with Evan Brooks from Fox 43 TV. And Evan has been covering football like no one else all season long. He's a former receiver at Howard University, and he's with us here for a very special pregame segment. He's going to be down on the sidelines during the game, giving us a perspective that we probably can't get up in the box. And Evan, great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Gary. I'm really excited to be here. This is going to be a great game. 2 great teams, and you can't ask for better weather for a championship game.
You've had a chance to kind of look at the game over the years as a player, now as a broadcaster, and you look at this particular game. It's really interesting coming in because both these teams have played quality competition all season long. Of course, the only 2 losses for Harrisburg were to Manheim Township, 24-20, and also to State College, who they would play next 20-6. So they've had a quality season so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you talk about Harrisburg, you got to mention guys like Kyle Williams, Mekhi Hopkins, the 2 running backs in the backfield. Kyle Williams, more of a gadget guy, do it all. You know, he can play some slot receiver as well. And Coach Cal really has these guys playing well. They're physical up front. They're physical on defense. The DBs really like to press and get up in your face. So they play a good brand of football. And, you know, it's going to be a tough task playing against Manheim Township. You know, Coach Evans does a really good job with their fronts and everything like that. They're very, very disciplined. So it should be a good game today.
The guy we forget about sometimes with Harrisburg is Sean Lee, the sophomore quarterback. His pretty good pedigree. His dad played at Penn State. But Sean Lee's a guy who doesn't make many mistakes, seems to turn into big passing play when you need it, turns into running play when you need it, has a sense of moment.
Yes, he does. He is very, very dangerous back there. When nothing's open, he can take off and run. And once he gets running, it's hard to catch him for sure. So, you know, Manheim Township's going to have their hands full. Sean Lee is really taking the next step this year as a passer in the pocket, you know, making good reads, making very precise throws. So he's been a great addition for them this year and has really taken that next step as a quarterback. Only a sophomore, too, so he's only going to get better. He's been great for them all year.
One of the numbers that jumps out at me when you look at Harrisburg is 32 sacks this year, 19 by Reynolds, who is in the backfield backfield more than a lot of the running backs are, and they have been dynamite there. Only 11 sacks on the other side from Manheim Township. There's a huge difference there. That's something we're going to be watching here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. It all starts up front. You win in the trenches, as they say, with any football game. So, Manheim Township's going to have to do a really good job, maybe chipping, doubling. Reynolds, as you mentioned, like you said, he's a menace coming off the edge. And for Harrisburg, they're going to have to do a good job, guarding, Manheim Township's front as well. Those guys get upfield a lot. They're really good with their hands, block a lot of passes as well. So it's definitely going to be a battle in the trenches. And, both teams, they prepare. So we're going to see who comes out on top.
When you look at this Manheim Township team, Hayden Johnson throws it around 74% of his passes are complete. They're a team that has thrown the ball well all season long. They got a guy named Cannell out there who can catch a lot of balls.
Yes, Landon Cannell. He's been their go-to. He's been Hayden Johnson's go-to receiver all season long. I mean, both these quarterbacks have been spectacular. Hayden has a great arm, very, very accurate. I talked to him last week, just asking him, how do you get ready for a game like this? What's the mentality? He said, just go do what I've been doing. He's been spinning it all year, like you mentioned, and this one's no different. Obviously, the stakes a little bit bigger, but he's been in this moment before. He's played well all season, so I don't expect that to change today.
3 losses this season to 3 quality teams, and only by 11 points. So this is a team coming in hot, too. And what they did to Hempfield last week, who was number 1 in the district going in, 42-7, was incredible. And 3 different interceptions in that game, a couple fumble recoveries. I mean, they really did it defensively.
Yeah, Nick Palumbo, he plays on both sides of the ball. He's a really good DB. I think he had 4 interceptions last week, like you mentioned. To avenge those 2 regular season losses and come back in the playoffs and, beat Hempfield, beat Cumberland Valley, that really shows the adjustments that Manheim Township is making. And you mentioned it. They've gotten hot, and they're here in the championship game, and that's one of the reasons they've made great adjustments all playoff season long.
And finally, unless we think the Manheim Township just throws the ball around over the place, they've got a pretty good running game too, right?
Yeah, they do. Declan Clancy, he's in the backfield. He's their go-to back. He can make you miss. He can run over you, through you. So, you got to watch out for him as well. He's no slouch back there at all. Plays on the defensive side of the ball at middle linebacker. But, he's going to get his fair share of carries, and Harrisburg's going to have to be ready for him as well.
26 touchdown passes, 28 touchdowns running. This team can put some points up on the board. They're averaging 35.5 a game. Harrisburg's at 36. And I'll tell you, we're looking for a good one. Looking forward to hearing from you on the sidelines today, Evan. Great to have you aboard the team, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Gary.
And thanks for all you do on Fox 43. Yep, Evan Brooks today is going to be with us down the sideline here on our championship game Saturday. It is the district championship game. It's the state quarterfinals, rather, all here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over $30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
More options, less settling, more value, and more smiles. Capital Blue Cross Medicare gives you more opportunities to stay healthy, enjoy life, and be there for the people you love. With more coverage, more benefits, and premiums as low as $0, accepted by top doctors across the country. More ways that Capital Blue Cross Medicare is going the extra mile for you.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
And it's time for a very special segment here on High School Sports Live TV football. As I'm here with Charlie Forty, we call him the founder of the Feast. This is the guy that's behind every broadcast. He's getting information together. His sister Carolyn's helping us all the time. But he had a vision about this years ago, and it's been coming to fruition during that time. Grade A because of Charlie Forty. Charlie, thanks so much for all you do.
Thank you, Gary. And I do want to say before we're going further that Brandy as well is huge putting us together every week because I would hear this. Brandy grew up training with me, playing with me, so I got to make sure I take care of Brandy there. But yes, this is a great opportunity, great football season. It looks like all the advice that the football coaches in the area gave us came to fruition. We had overtime games at High School Sports Live. We had just some great matchups, and wow, Harrisburg versus Manheim rematch. Can't get any better. District 6A at Severance Field, where I was a kid watching football games. Steel High actually won on this field 7-0, I got to say, in 1983. But other than that, it's just a wonderful renewal of memories for me just being back at this field and being able to help put this on television. I have relatives getting ready to watch this game because they have relatives playing in this game. So I just can't be more thrilled to be a part of this, Gary.
And, of course, Brandy Trossel he's talking about helps get us ready every single week. But we talk about this season, and we talk about being with Fox 43. What a great partnership this has turned out to be on 43.2.
Yeah, Todd Sadowski and his team, and we're going to hear from Evan earlier. They just go all out, and they've just it seems like more of a just partnership than being an advertiser. So we're just appreciative of that. And the area has benefited. We've gotten great feedback. We're part of every news broadcast, and we're just teaming up every week. And you've done a great job, Gary, making those reports as well.
Well, the cross-promotion's been a lot of fun, but we couldn't do this without the sponsorships we have all year long. Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, Capital Region Insurance Agency, Hoffman Ford, Jack G. and Balvo. It goes on and on.
OSS Health's another good one. We'll have an interview with Dr. Callista later in the broadcast. We're going to miss some. So, but throughout the broadcast, you're going to see our sponsors. And when you see them, every year they make the commitment to make sure high school sports is live on television for a lot of folks that can't get the games anymore, whether you be senior citizens, elderly, or handicapped, out-of-state relatives. The feedback we get is that there's a lot of folks watching these. So we're glad to have that team to make that happen.
Now, football season for us ends today, but I got news for you. Sports season doesn't end today, and we're getting ready to head into our winter schedule with basketball and wrestling. And I'll tell you what, this guy that's going to be joining us this year as our analyst is a guy who is not unknown to the Harrisburg area. In fact, the Kirk Smallwood Summer League. Kirk Smallwood Day on November 14th. There he is honored for his years of service here. Let's see, 9 district championships, 2 state championships, 678 wins, and a good friend. Kirk Smallwood's going to be joining us this year. My friend, great to have you aboard. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Gary. I want to thank you and Charlie for the opportunity.
Well, we'd gotten you earlier, except you've been coaching all that time and winning championships, so we didn't get a chance to get you in since then. But now you're here, and we're looking forward so much to your expertise during the course of the season. You and I have known each other for a long, long time, and I can't wait to pick your brain on basketball all season long.
And I got questions for you, man. You know, I did 42 years year-round, and this is one of the things that I've always wanted to investigate and be a part of, man, and I'm just glad to be here.
Well, we're looking forward to some great games this year. We started out with Cumberland Valley at Carlisle to heat it up on Thursday, December the 15th. And then we got York at Central York. You know a little something about those two teams over the years, especially York High on December 20th. What do you look forward to this season with basketball now from a different place? Not sitting on the bench down there, but sitting upstairs with us.
Gives me an opportunity to be a purist, Gary. I don't have any judgment. I don't have to scout anybody. Gives me a chance to highlight some kids that are very deserving, and, you know, it's a great opportunity.
Kirk Smallwood Day on November 14th. I got to ask you about that. Have you a special day when the whole of Harrisburg celebrated you and what you've done over the years for kids?
it was very special. You know, I think City Council and the Mayor, Wanda Williams, they just welcomed me with open arms. Had players there, family, fraternity brothers. It was great.
Charlie, to get a guy like this as our sidekick, as our partner, you don't do better than that.
I know. Kirk doesn't know this, and I never told you this, but probably about 3 years ago, we were doing a high school sports live game, and Harrisburg was on, and I actually had the thought, when Kirk retires, we're going to have him on the sideline because he's the ideal person, and because he knows all the teams. They've come through a summer league. He has a great relationship with the coaches. He's well-spoken. He just knows the game. And I have to say this, and Kirk knows this, I still owe him gas money for picking me up at the Gabriel Brothers on Union Deposit and taking me to Jewish Community Center when I was 16 years old to play basketball and get some competition against Harrisburg players. It's just a great relationship there. So hopefully I'm giving a little bit of that gas money back, Kirk, this year. But no, we're also going to have probably some special guests throughout the year. Maybe Pat Flannery might join us once or twice. And but to have the team of you two guys, we're excited. And I can't wait to see Trinity, McDevitt on TV. I can't wait to see a good Mountain Hershey team play this year. That Hershey Redland, LO Dolphin rivalry is always a good one. We got some great, actually we see you inducted into the Columbia Hall of Fame on the 20th of January, Gary, against Lancaster Mennonite. So great schedule coming up. Wrestling, we got Cumberland Valley, Central Dolphin, Cumberland Valley, Cedar Cliff. Go to hsslivetv.com to catch the schedule.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Small will be our special guest this year all year long. He won't be a guest. He's part of the team now, so he doesn't get to be a guest anymore. He was a guest when we used to interview him at halftime, but not anymore. He'll be with us. Looking forward to great analysis all season long, and you can watch it all right here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
More options, less settling, more value, and more smiles. Capital Blue Cross Medicare gives you more opportunities to stay healthy, enjoy life, and be there for the people you love. With more coverage, more benefits, and premiums as low as $0, accepted by top doctors across the country. More ways that Capital Blue Cross Medicare is going the extra mile for you.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jet Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Our pregame show continues here on High School Sports Live TV. It's the championship game today for District 3, Manheim Township. and Harrisburg High. 9-3 Manheim Township is in here today. The Blue Streaks are streaking right now. And, of course, Harrisburg High has gotten really tough here, 9-2, and they are ready here this afternoon in their home field. We're with our two great announcers today, and we're talking about Bill Chase and Ford Chapman. I want to go to Bill first, though. Bill, when you talk about this Manheim Township team, this is a team averaging 36.6 points a game, giving up 16.1. There's a lot to this team, multidimensional.
Yeah, Mark Evans has done a great job, and he's been there about a decade now. And I think in 6A, there's always 8 to 12 quality programs, and for him to put the Blue Streaks in the playoffs almost every year has been quite an accomplishment against a really tough 6A division here in District 3.
Their three losses are quality losses to Cumberland Valley 31-27, to Hempfield 17-14, and Wilson 31-27, a total of 11 points against some really big-time teams here, all of whom were in the top 6 at one point in time this year.
Yeah, I made the mistake of assuming their defense was just sort of average, but they're sneaky good, actually. They've only given up 30 points twice, and it was both times to Cumberland Valley. And other than that, they played Harrisburg in Week 3, and they only gave up 20 points, and they'll probably need to duplicate that today.
They're the only team to score more than 24 points, or 24 points exactly on Harrisburg this year, the most they've given up. You look at this team very quickly, 40% running or passing, 60% running. They're a team that has a pretty good mix.
I think they're going to have to pass a little bit more than that today. This is a team that I call them a team with a high offensive IQ. They throw the ball, and they're not simplistic about it. They don't just dink and dunk. They'll throw it over the middle. They'll throw deep down the sidelines. This Hayden Johnson kid has really, really impressed me all year. And their top three guys on offense, Johnson, Landon Cannell at receiver, and what's Declan's name? Clancy at running back. They're all underclassmen. So they're maybe a year ahead of schedule from what they probably should have been, but they're very impressive on offense.
Let's move over to Fort Chapman. Harrisburg comes in 9-2. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They're looking really, really tough right now. What do you see from this team this afternoon, Fort?
Well, first of all, the experience that Harrisburg had this year compared to last, have more veterans in the lineup. They're more accustomed to mix and run and pass. They do a great job of it. They're very balanced. They have a 1-2 punch at running back. They have a sophomore quarterback who's his second year as a starter. And the thing that you look at comparing the two teams, you would say, well, Manheim Township, are they going to be ready for this Harrisburg Cougar speed? Well, they've beaten them already this year. They played them to an overtime loss, a thriller last year that we covered on High School Sports Live. So they've been in this type of battle before. They are battle tested, as Bill said. They have a lot of what a great job their coaching staff, their program has done in the past decade or so. So I expect this to be a fabulous football game. And Harrisburg being at home, having the home crowd, and also just that speed factor is something Manheim's going to really have to be aware of.
And Manheim's also going to have to be aware of the fact this team is sack happy. 32 sacks for the season. Reynolds with 19 on his own. No one has numbers like that anywhere.
No, and I'll tell you what, this game should come down to 4 quarters, and one thing could come into play is the kicking game. We'll talk about that more during but Harrisburg really doesn't have one. They don't kick extra points and field goals. Manheim has a very solid kicking game, and that can always be a factor.
Now, I see Charlie Fortney over here looking a little itchy off the side, and he's carrying something with him. So, Charlie, what do you have going on here?
Well, you guys have done such a good job all year, and this is our last football game of the season. It's an 11-game schedule. It was a big accomplishment, I should say, you guys pulling this off. I know 4 of you joined us for 6 or 7, and Bill, you've been with us as well. Gary, you've done a tremendous job. So, as I saw you guys staring at my candy earlier, it just kind of gave me an impromptu idea that I should give you a little bit of a reward here today after that Thanksgiving dinner the other day. And Gary, since you're from York, I'm going to give you the York Thins, right from the Hershey Chocolate World store where candy's at a discount, ladies and gentlemen. Right. And Bill, I couldn't help but notice you were staring down my Rolos. I actually bought them for myself. That's how much I think of you, so I'm going to give those to you. And Fort Chapman, I know that my daughter was in your class, and I know you guys watch a lot of St. John's Georgetown highlights in your sports marketing class. I get it. We hear about that every night at the dinner table. But I think this assortment pack of Hershey miniatures, since you say you really don't like chocolate, you can give out to your students over the Christmas break. How's that?
Thank you, sir. And Georgetown's Coach Smallwood's best team. It's his favorite team, and St. John's is mine.
Couldn't ask for a better team right here. Had a great time all season long. And, of course, Chad and Josh Edwards and his whole crew doing a wonderful job for Invicta. But we're getting ready to bring you a big football game here this afternoon. It's all going to happen on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Hi, I'm Gary Sutton. I'm the host of High School Sports Live TV, the game of the week, every week on Fox 43.2. And you know, we're out here today, though, at Hoffman Ford, and I'm reminded a little bit of this truck right here. Might have been the one that Ryan Hoffman used to drive around, and he doesn't anymore, by the way, here at Hoffman Ford. He was featured in a Just Call Me Ryan segment back when he was a younger man. And Ryan's with us today. Ryan, good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Very good today.
You're about community. And you're about helping the community. Anybody that's ever watched a High School Sports Live TV broadcast, your name's always prominently there. The Hoffman Ford Player of the Week. We talk about those all the time.
It's something that my grandfather, obviously, again, he was mayor of Harrisburg for many years. So again, it's a name that people trusted to vote him in as mayor at the time. So that started it. We'll obviously continue that through us as the Hoffman brand, if you want to call that, in our community to make certain that we can carry on that legacy for the next generation. I hope to pass it on to my kids someday.
You know, life is full of partnerships, Ryan, and your dad and your grandfather had a partnership in the original business. You and your brother Todd have a partnership now. You know, partnerships can always have a yin and a yang to it. I'm not sure which part you play, yin or yang, but you know, talk a little bit about the give and take of a partnership and how that works together. You were talking about teamwork. Now you talk about teamwork between two people and making sure this runs, and Hoffman certainly runs very smoothly because of that yin and yang, you and Todd. Talk about that.
Again, it is the yin and the yang. We are two different, but together we make a whole. Obviously, he likes the service side of the aspect, and I like the sales side of the aspects of the business, so it works for us. From that standpoint, again, like you said, my grandfather and dad, they kind of did the same thing. My grandfather was more on the fixed operations, and my dad was more on the sales side. So it definitely plays out to our advantage, having us both here under the same roof doing business together as partners. Because again, we help our employees, and our team makes Hoffman Ford who we are. He's obviously my brother, and I love him dearly.
So Ryan, we're going to show you a little piece of film right here. We had a number of people who, you know, talk about your role in the community.
Throughout my educational experience as a teacher, coach, administrator, and now superintendent of the Steelton High School District, and the Hoffman Ford has supported us tremendously through various projects and efforts that most likely are there to support the students, support the kids, support the student athletes, and everyone involved. Most recently, we worked with Hoffman Ford on a project to purchase 3 vans. By doing so, we were able to offset expenses for transportation costs for field trips, sports teams, and those types of things.
Hoffman Ford has been a very important community partner with projects like the Heroes Grove and other projects throughout the county. For example, baseball fields, football fields, soccer fields. I can tell you numerous times where we asked Hoffman Ford for their help, and they were always there.
When I walked in Earl Huffman's office over 20 years ago, and I asked for support to get a program started where we could put baskets in a gymnasium and be able to just do these things for the community and try to build these programs. He didn't hesitate. He hasn't hesitated for the last 20 years, and I can't say enough about how much his support and Hoffman Ford support has meant to us.
What do you think when you see that bunch of people talking about what Hoffman Ford means to them?
It makes me feel really good, because again, that's what we're about here at Hoffman Ford, is giving back to the community. So,
Hoffman Ford, Ryan Hoffman, Todd Hoffman, carrying on a tradition, a custodian of excellence, if you will, right here at Hoffman Ford and Jonestown Pike here in Harrisburg.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jet Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman
For a while
has
back,
it.
I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
Both these clubs have been playing really good football.
Absolutely. We talked about the pregame a little bit. Highlighted some things about the Blue Streaks and myself, the Cougars. And the thing about Manheim Township is they're used to this Cougar speed. They've played it once this year. They played it once last year. It's not going to be a surprise to them.
Aiden Johnson at quarterback. He throws it all over the field. 74% completion rate. Quick handoff here. And you're going to see that number all afternoon long on the side of Harrisburg. Number 2, Terrell Reynolds with the tackle. He's got 19 sacks this year. This guy's a tackling machine, Bill.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the keys, I think, for Harrisburg. Can they get Johnson off his mark? Other teams haven't been able to do so this year, but if they can get him off his spot when he wants to throw the ball and not let him throw on time, that'll go a long way for Harrisburg.
Great second effort there after contact by the Manheim Township running back to pick up 3 yards instead of getting tackled for no gain.
Declan Clancy carrying the ball. He has 817 yards in the season carrying. Straight back goes Johnson. Johnson looks to the sideline, throws it, timing play. Caught. Was he out of bounds?
Yes, he was.
So it'll be third down coming up now, and 7. Ball at the 38-yard line. Bill, you've seen this Manheim Township team a little bit on film, and you've talked to coaches and so forth. This team is going to get quick outs a lot of times, but they're very sophisticated in their passing game.
Yeah, just an example there on that last play, just the back shoulder that they wanted. He caught the ball. It was a tough catch. He caught the ball. Apparently, he was out of bounds. But yeah, they're going to throw it, and they're going to have to be successful throwing the football.
They have a lot of receivers that they like to throw to. The one guy is Pinnell.
Curl.
And he's got the curl play, and a good tip there by Harrisburg. Good defense. He was looking down here on the near sideline, could not catch up with his man. So it'll be fourth down. They'll be forced to kick it out of there.
That was Kamir Williams, a sophomore for the Cougars, who made a great play there defensively, getting his hand on the football to force a punt for Manheim.
So they'll kick it out of there. wearing number 2. Number 2 seems to be a popular number there on both sides today, with Reynolds wearing number 2 on the other side. Second down from the 30-yard line. They're going to give him 1 on the play.
But for a lot of spread sets, the ball's going to be fired out here immediately, most likely for Harrisburg. If they don't cover it, Manheim, but now here it comes.
They fake it to Hopkins, throw it out here to Williams instead, and Williams, again, stopped for a very short gain on that.
What Manheim Township does well, Bill, is run to the football on defense, and they did it right there. They covered a lot of ground quickly and held them to a minimal gain, the Cougars.
Yeah, because I think what you were saying just before the throw out there, Harrisburg had a 3-on-2 situation, and Manheim ran well to the ball.
Sean Lee, very efficient with the football, only a sophomore. Father played at Penn State. Fake the handoff to Hopkins again, throw to the outside. He's got his man out there, first down yardage, and it's going to be across the 40, out near the 43-yard line. First down for Harrisburg, and a nice, solid pass out to the wing.
It was just the second receiver in the trips. Down the field a few yards, broke to the outside, and Lee put the ball right on the money. Empty set here for the Cougars.
Lee's back there. 3 receivers near side, 2 far side.
Harrisburg is known at times to bring one of the guys back into the backfield. They're going to do it right here.
They're bring Hopkins back there again. Mackay Hopkins, 817 yards for the season. They fake it to him again, throw it out to Williams again, and Williams quickly breaks out near the 45-yard line, crosses midfield down near the 45-yard line. Another first down, and Williams is just one of those all-round kind of guys. You can use him in so many different kinds of situations, Bill.
Yeah, he's a great athlete, and he showed it right there. I think you're going to see a lot of those little quick routes, little smoke routes, unless Manheim's going to match up on them.
And you notice Harrisburg Cougars for years, whether it's Robert Tate, whether it's Hank Poteet, whether it's Kenny Watson, or whether it's the players, I don't know, they make people miss in space, and they did it right there. Williams did.
First down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Cougars on the march here in their opening drive. Sean Lee looks right, throws back a little sidearm. Caught near side by Elias Koch, the freshman, and Koch will get a quick 4 to 5 yards on that look. Probably about 4 down to the, looks like about the 41-yard line.
If you're going to have success defensively against the Harrisburg Cougars year in and year out, you got to tackle in space. They're going to, especially nowadays when the more spread sets than there ever were before. And if you don't tackle in space, they're going to get some home runs on you.
There's your handoff right up the middle, and a good run forward by Williams.
Harrisburg to throw the ball more than they want to, then they're going to be in this game.
So it'll be third down now, call it 4. Ball at the 38-yard line. They'll say a long through. They fake it again to Hopkins. Out to the wing it goes. And getting another first down and finally grabbed by the jersey and brought down, but inside the 30-yard line. So Harrisburg, with his short passing game so far, has been really, really effective for.
And that was a run-pass option, it looked like. So for the people at home, what you have here, the quarterback gets a snap. He can hand it off.
I can hear you talking.
Based on what's happening out on the perimeter, he can just fire it out there to one of his receivers. It was his option to do that, thus run-pass option. You'll hear it referred to a lot as RPO.
Now, they haven't had Hopkins run the ball yet. You think maybe this is a good place to maybe hand it off to the big guy, but not yet. They continue to fake to him and get to this guy, Mr. Williams, who's been very effective in this drive, down to the 20. Again, second down and short. Chad, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, they're going to keep. Harrisburg's going to keep doing this until Manheim's moving a safety out, but not far enough. And until they match up 3-on-3, they're going to keep throwing to the number 1 or 2 guy out there.
Second down 3, and there you give it to the big guy, Hopkins, and Hopkins does what he does best, blast forward inside the 15, down near the 14-yard line. Another first down for Harrisburg.
And most of the D-backs are playing around 6, 7, 8 yards off. They are reacting to the football very well, or the Manheim Township Blue Streak defenders, but Harrisburg already has 2-3 yards at the point of attack before any contact is made.
Their offensive line really firing out so far, so they put a man in motion again. That's Granberry. And then the handoff again, and caught is Williams this time in the backfield, and he's got to get a loss of about 2 on the play.
Yeah, nice job.
Really good job lunging forward by that Manheim Township defense. They only give up 16 points a game. We hear a lot about the Harrisburg defense giving up 10 a game, but you know, it's Manheim Township team, no slouch at all.
Well, as I said in the pregame, I was a little fooled because the two games I saw were Cumberland Valley, and the other team that scored over 30 points on them, mostly because Isaac Sines was able to run the ball against them at quarterback.
And a punt return the first game.
Yeah.
Should not go against the defense there. Last 2 weeks ago, Manheim was down in Cumberland Valley 14-0. They never took a snap.
Second down, 12 now, ball 17. 24 to go here in the quarter. They end up getting to Williams. Williams slices off the right side. Williams down near the 13-yard line, we'll call it.
If you're the Harrisburg play caller, it's 4-down territory all time. They're not picking extra points for field goal. So you know right now you need 8 yards, but you have 2 points to get it.
So it'll be third down now at 8. At the 15-yard line.
If they can get here and operate, if they can hold Harrisburg from getting the 8 yards on 2 plays, it is going to be advantageous for them. That bend but not break defense.
Big swing of momentum pendulum. There you go. Hopkins down inside the 10, near the 6-yard line.
Great second effort.
And man, Harrisburg can't get a first down here. And Four makes a good point. When you don't kick field goals or extra points, and you know you're in 4-down territory, it probably allows you to run the ball a little bit more than what normally teams would.
As they did right there. Yeah. Now you're in a 4th and manageable situation, 4th and 3.
Doing a lot of play action here, faking it to Hopkins and then looking to the flat. They got Granberry out there on the left. They like him a lot on these kind of situations as well. Let's see if they go back to Hopkins again. It's 4th down and 3. They don't. He keeps it himself. Does Lee. Lee dives for the goal line, just short, down to the 1-yard line, and that caught everybody off surprise. They went Wildcat that time. With
Wildcat, yep, with Williams.
Yep. Switch into Wildcat, and Williams is such a good runner. He stays so low. He's such a nice runner and tough to tackle.
Sure does.
So first down and goal at the 1.
Very nice play call there by Harrisburg, mixing up with the Wildcat and faking the run, having the Wildcat running back Williams take the ball to pay dirt.
So Sean Lee Jr. calls out the signals here. Got Hopkins back there. Pretty good chance he'll get it. And there's Hopkins right over that left side and in for the touchdown. And at the 4:32 mark of the first quarter, Hopkins checks in with his first touchdown. And Harrisburg is on the board, 6-0. They'll go for 2.
Bill, you made a great point earlier. A few plays ago, Harrisburg was able to run the ball on 3rd and 8 because they knew they had 2 downs to get the 8 yards, and they got themselves in a very manageable 4th and 3 and had a really nice play call out of the Wildcat, and then go to their big running back, Natron Means Jr., if you will, and number 7 takes it in for the score. They're going to put the ball on the left hash here. Most people do that on a conversion. They're going to go to the right, the wide side of field.
So we'll see what they have in store here.
Expect some type of sprint out to the right, option to the right.
So Lee,
he's going to go straight ahead here to the right.
Hands it off to Hopkins, and Hopkins barrels his way in for 2 more. And so Hopkins for the 2-point conversion. Harrisburg up at the 4:32 mark. 7-0 in this championship game. It's all right here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
That's exactly right.
Okay. And welcome back here. It is High School Sports Live TV's presentation of the District 3 Championship game in 6A. Fort Chapman, Bill Chase, Gary Sutton with you as Harrisburg 8-0. I'm so used to saying 7-0. Fort kind of nudged me and said, hey, they got 2 there. That's exactly right. They never go for the extra point. And it's kind of a mindset, you think about that. So now it's Harrisburg's turn to kick off the few times that they do kick, and this is it. And they'll boot it downfield. That's a pretty good kick, man. I'll tell you what, they might want to rethink that running in for 2 every time. Manheim Township with it, across the 20, 25, 30, out to the 33-yard line. Nice run back there on the play by Manheim Township. And that was Antonio Vasquez with the run back. So it'll be first down and 10, ball out at the 32-yard line, 33 rather, set up first down and 10. Let's go back to the Harrisburg play there. They really looked good coming down the field that time for.
Yes, they did. They've all year long, they've had a nice mixture of run and pass. They keep a defense off balance. When you have a diverse, multifaceted offensive game plan and you have different threats both in the backfield and at the receiver and a quarterback that can get the ball to the receivers, it's tough to defend.
Man in motion here for Manheim Township. Quick out to the flat. Out across the 40 to the 45 to the 50 into Harrisburg territory down to the 45-yard line. Fumble on the play, and Harrisburg's got the ball. It's a fumble at the 4:15 mark here, and Harrisburg covers it up.
Very nicely executed flare pass, blocking downfield by the Blue Streaks, and a really nice run after the catch. But opportunistic Harrisburg, you'll see it here on the replay. And ball gets punched out right at the end there by number 5 for the Cougars. And that is Lewis, Zakiel Lewis.
Yep, Zakai Lewis. Zakai Lewis knocked it out there and recovered by Harrisburg. So a big play here, and Harrisburg with a chance to get a 2-score lead here as they start from their own 45-yard line.
Now you see Manheim out in the perimeter. They're sneaking up their defenders a little bit closer.
They're a little more 3-on-3 coverage now.
Yep.
There's Hopkins banging it his way out to about the 48-yard line. Makai Hopkins on the year, 84.8 yards per game, 848 coming to this game. You know, you look at this Harrisburg team, you talk about opportunistic, 16 interceptions, 32 sacks during the course of the season, 12 fumble recoveries, make it 13 now, so that was the 13th of the season for them. So they are opportunistic is a great way to describe them.
Looks like Coach Yoder, the defensive coordinator for Manheim Township, is going straight man here. Gets an extra man in the box to try to stop this Cougar running game.
Straight back goes Lee. Lee looking for the whole bunch right here to Granberry. Granberry downfield just through his hands, but a good look. They had Granberry open.
That was a well-thrown ball. That's exactly where you need to throw it. Maybe just a little overthrown, but he knew he had one-on-one out here.
Very little wind out here today. Very nice weather with the sun shining, as you can see. So you have a lot of times this time of year, the weather really has an impact on the style of play. Not today.
Third down and 7. This is usually they would look to something with Williams, right?
Trin.
And instead they go to Hopkins out in the flat and let him get open one-on-one down the sideline. Hopkins is going to take it the whole way. Hopkins all the way down, a 51-yard pass play. Makai Hopkins right out in the flat, and he took it to the house. Wow.
Very nicely executed play, Bill.
Yeah, he looked one way, like they had thrown a number of times, and he came real quick back to Hopkins, and only one guy could catch him. Looked like a defensive lineman trying to chase him down earlier.
Here you see it, running back out the backfield, weak side screen, lineman blocking downfield. Great block there by number 74 for the Cougars, and that's probably Brown. Yep, Kevin Brown, the freshman. His dad played here, graduated in the late 90s. 99 grad and played at West Virginia, phenomenal football player for the Cougars, and his son's taken right there where he left off.
Well, the Cougars, who have been hot lately, 4-game winning streak coming in here, and including a 44-7 shellacking of Central last week, looking top-notch right now so far here in the first quarter. Still 3:23 to go in the first quarter, and they're up right now 14-zip and looking to try to make it 16 on this play. This time, Williams takes it again on the Wildcat, and Williams is in easily. Williams with a 2-point conversion, 16-0. Harrisburg leads it. It's the District 3 6A championship game all here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
Do the advanced hooper. He made it a timeout or between quarters, all right? And on that last drive, Harrisburg had 5 first downs and continued to just march downfield. Took the fumble recovery there at their own 40 and a 49-yard touchdown pass. Little pass to the out from Mekhi Hopkins. He took it to the house. 16-0. Harrisburg leads it. There's still 3:23 to go in the first quarter, and here's the kickoff. Got another good-looking ball downfield. Be taken there at the 12-yard line by Ethan Dansereau. And Dansereau, again, out near the 33-yard line, will be first down and 10 here for the Blue Streaks.
Yeah, before people turn over to the Ohio State-Michigan game, let's not forget that Manheim Township was down 2 scores to Cumberland Valley in the first round of the playoffs, and came back to win that game.
As I mentioned, Bill, down 14-0. They never took a snap yet because they fumbled the kickoff return after Cumberland Valley scored on their opening possession. The one thing we got to be concerned about is the mental part of this. And after this play, I'll bring it up about who Manheim Township played last week and how the emotion of a big win could potentially deter the following week.
So here is Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson, there's Reynolds. We talked about him in the sack, and there he is, picking up his 20th sack of the season.
Johnson's a very good quarterback, and he just didn't feel the pressure in enough time to get rid of the football. And those Cougar defenders will get on you quickly. But back to, Manheim beat Hempfield in a rematch. They had lost the week before, or during the regular season.
17-14.
And now they're back in the district final. But how much energy, emotion was exuded in that win last week? 10 years ago, the Cougars got a rematch against Central Dauphin. They had been beaten on this field against Central Dauphin. They came back in the district semis and got a big win, and then they didn't have a lot left in the tank against Wilson in the district final. It can happen.
So backed up right now, it is second down and 20 yards to go at the 25-yard line.
Double screen.
Johnson trying to find his way out, and he is taken down again in the backfield. And I'll tell you what, right now you got a Harrisburg team that is just absolutely fired up, and that tackle for number 32, Damone Maxwell Jr. So it brings up third down and 22, ball at the 23-yard line, clock ticking, 2:13 to go in the first.
This is exactly the situation Coach Evans didn't want to see. Hoping to respond, after 2 scores in the first quarter here, and then all of a sudden you can't protect your quarterback, which has been unusual for them. But Harrisburg's a different cat when it comes to pressuring the quarterback.
It'll be third down now, 22 yards to go. Ball back at your 23-yard line. You started at the 33.
More of a prevent defense draw.
Going back against the grain. Nice handoff, good fight through, but not much there for Declan Clancy, who is the leading rusher on this team for the season. Clancy with 812 yards coming in this game and 13 touchdowns, but nowhere to go there, and so it'll be fourth down and time to kick it out again for Manheim Township.
This last punt Manheim had, Will Chamberlain probably could have blocked it if he was on the D-line for Harrisburg. It was very, very low, like a very low line drive. He was fortunate to get that off. Let's see what they do here. Same formation.
Same guy doing the kicking that does the quarterbacking, Johnson.
It looks like it's almost set up for a rugby punt to the right. He lined up in this last time.
Johnson, a little bit better punt this time, a little bit of hang time on it, kicks it to the right, bounces up near the 48, takes a Harrisburg bounce, and Harrisburg will take the ball again. Great field position at the 48-yard line. They just had a touchdown a moment ago for the 49, so nice field position here again. Now, what do you do to offset, Bill? You're a guy that loves the offense. What do you do to try to offset what this Harrisburg team's doing right now? Shorter dropbacks, is that it?
Are you referring to what
Manheim Township? Yeah.
Offense? Well,
we'll get back.
Let's
to
get
that.
back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a moment. Right now, we're worried about what Harrisburg's going to do on offense and what Manheim's going to do to try to stop them. Harrisburg first and 10 from the 48-yard line. Really have been impressed also with Sean Lee so far. You talk about efficiency. This guy is it. Hand off to Hopkins. He's been good to him so far today and continues as he gets forward for about 3, maybe 4 yards on first down. 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
So back to your initial question previously, that thing called adrenaline and momentum just seems to have taken over. That pass rush that Harrisburg put on them on that third series for Manheim was unreal.
It's amazing when we come back to this for how you transfer momentum, isn't it?
And
there's Granberry, and the first down looks like he got near the first down yardage where the referees stand. Looks like they have a first down. 4.
I've always said growing up here and seeing the old John Harris Pioneer teams and the William Penn Tigers, they've joined together in '71 to become the Harrisburg Cougars. And when you see a Harrisburg team gain momentum, especially at home, they can pour it on quickly. And they capitalize on them. And they've done it in basketball for years under Coach Smallwood. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Harrisburg's going to let the clock run out here.
Yep, run down to 10, 9 seconds. Harrisburg dominating the first quarter here in the District 3 6A championship game. It's also the state quarterfinals, a chance to play state college next week in the semifinals. Right now, Harrisburg leads it all here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
If it's used car peace of mind you're looking for, Hoffman has it. Hoffman Ford brings you a wide selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, carefully chosen and inspected for dependable driving pleasure. For the ultimate peace of mind, shop the Hoffman collection of Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles. If you're looking for a used vehicle you can feel good about your loved one's driving,
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
More options, less settling, more value, and more smiles. Capital Blue Cross Medicare gives you more opportunities to stay healthy, enjoy life, and be there for the people you love. With more coverage, more benefits, and premiums as low as $0, accepted by top doctors across the country. More ways that Capital Blue Cross Medicare is going the extra mile for you.
Welcome back. Severance Field here, and Harrisburg with the football again here as we start the second quarter. On first down, ball was at the 42-yard line, and good defense that time by Manheim Township.
Yeah, they went empty look with quads down here to the lower part of the screen, and this little quarterback keeper.
They faked the bubble to the fourth guy in the trips here, the big workhorse, number 7, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come back and fire it to him here.
Clancy.
And just have 3 guys block out in front of him. He's going to be a tough guy to bring down in space, Bill.
Declan Clancy.
Are they going to bring him back into the backfield?
Looking at Hopkins now. Mackay Hopkins. And Hopkins gets the ball off the right side. Hopkins loses balance as he gets inside the 40, maybe to the 39-yard line, which will bring up third down now.
And I would guess that this is 4-down territory for Harrisburg.
I think it's always 4-down territory for
I don't know
Harrisburg.
Well, he was thinking about punting, potentially punting here, which may not be a bad option if you don't get anything here on this on this third down. But if they get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards, they're going to go for it, no doubt.
Let's see if they maybe try to pass it this time. Little option play by Lee, and Lee's going to eat it at the 1-yard line. So right here, Bill, this might be a good place to get a punt off.
Well, now I'm not so sure. I do agree with Ford. I mean, if I'm punting the ball with a 16-0 lead, but
I wouldn't be surprised if they even punt, quick kick out of shotgun,
yeah.
And just put Manheim, put them back behind the chains.
Well, and here's Lee back to do exactly that.
Yeah, they are empty. Let's see if he drops back a couple more steps.
We saw him when they played Conestoga
Valley.
He's
punting it. Here we go. He's punting it.
In the season, yeah. When they played Cumberland Valley, they did this a lot, yeah. So here it is, down. Good kick, and it's going to go all the way into the end zone. So they made an exchange there about 20 yards, really, on the punt.
Yeah, almost had like a 38-yard punt there, right down to the inside the 2. That ball just took a big hop forward.
That was a fortunate break for Manheim Township there, and a big stop for them. Let's not underestimate that. Starting the second quarter here, to have gone down maybe 22 or 24-0 would have been very, very difficult, but to keep it to 16, and now if they can gather some momentum with a couple of first downs will be crucial.
Good point, Bill. And the other thing is being down 16-0 instead of 14-0. That's big as well.
Yes.
Manheim Township lost 3 games during the season by a total of 11 points. They're down by 14 in this one alone right now, which is unusual for where they've been all season long. So let's see if they can dig out of the hole right here. Johnson looks. Johnson across the middle and had his man open and just off the knee.
That's a heck of a receiver there, number 17 for Manheim. You're not going to see him drop many of those. He tried to actually catch it with one hand, going one way and one hand the other, almost like a. Instead of, it was one of those plays where the ball's right around your button, and you don't know whether to catch it with your pinkies together or your thumbs together.
Landon Kennel there as a receiver. Let's go down right now to Evan Brooks, who is down on the sidelines, and we're going to get him here in just a second. I understand. I'm going to send it to him. I can't hear you either. Okay. Again, another great bit of defense here.
Great ball, pursuit to the ball, gang tackling. This Harrisburg defense is very impressive. Plus, they got the skill on the perimeter to not be overly concerned about these receivers from Manheim.
Right, they match up well with most any wide receiving core, and this is a good one. I mean, very good.
Sure is. Manheim going empty. 3rd and 12. Got to be careful you don't turn the ball over here. Harrisburg very opportunistic defensively.
3rd down and 12 right now. Johnson straight back. Johnson throws out to the flat, and again, can't quite get the hands on it here. As the receiver he was looking for out there on the side was number 17 again, Landon Cannell, a guy who has 69 catches coming into this game. So it's 4th down now, and again, if you're Manheim, you got to kick it out of there, and Harrisburg most likely is going to get good field position.
Yeah, this is unusual for the Manheim Township team as far as passing the ball. This is a quarterback that completes 74% of his passes, which is unbelievable.
There's the kick out. Driving back, good kick here. Williams has got it. Williams picks it up quickly. Williams.
Look out, he's got room.
He's got the outside, and Williams down the sideline. 40, 30, down to the 20, down to the 10. Williams all the way back for a touchdown as Williams runs it all the way back. Ball kicked from the 18-yard line, and Williams on the return for the punt, and another touchdown for Harrisburg, and they are in command right now.
When you have I mentioned the names before, I'll say it again. When you have a Robert Tate, a Kenny Watson, a Hank Poteet, when you have some of these Cougars right now, they can go. You got to be very, very careful kicking off or punting to them because they will do just what you saw.
57-yard touchdown return here on the punt.
Back when we had a Thanksgiving All-Star game, I coached Kenny Watson in the All-Star game one year, and I ran a toss into our sideline, and he just blew by, and I thought, that's what Division I running backs look like.
You're darn right.
So now they're going to go for 2 again. Nothing unusual there. And looks like Sean Lee lining up there. Hopkins is sidecar.
Quincy Watley was my quarterback in that game.
Wow.
1996 grad.
So there's Hopkins in motion. This time Lee's going to keep it. Lee dancing off the near sideline, and Lee in. We have a flag down on the field.
Probably going to be a hold. We'll see here in a moment. And Quincy Watley, by the way, led Temple to the Elite 8 in basketball as a point guard.
I'll tell you, he was a good quarterback.
Pretty good player at Harrisburg High. Holding called against Harrisburg, so they get a chance to do it again, but this time might be a pass play. It's going to come back to the 8. Not many penalties in this game so far, guys. It's been really cleanly played.
Now this is where you want to kick an extra point, but Harrisburg does not do that. Some years they've had decent kickers.
Jeff Reinhardt here from the Lancaster News just said that's the first penalty of the game.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the hidden yardage that people count on when they play Harrisburg to maybe get holding penalties and
look for Granberry or Williams right here. Number 6 or number 4, usually the targets.
Motion here probably. Fade.
Is that Granberry?
Oh, nice ball.
No. Check that out. Into the end zone there. It's going to actually be Elias Koch, the freshman. Great set of hands on that young man.
That was a really, really well thrown ball.
Sure was. And if you're a defender there, you don't want to lose outside leverage there and give up that fade route. You got to be able to be there to try to break that up because they got to get to the end zone on one play from.
We'll take a break. We're going to come right back here. Hey, Harrisburg is up right now, 24-0 in the first half on High School Sports Live TV.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
9:02 to go in the first half here, 24-0. Are you guys shocked right now, Bill?
A little bit that Manheim hasn't moved the ball at all. I don't think they have a first down. They've had good starting field position. They get out to the 35 almost every time, but then nothing happening from there.
So here's a good run back out near the 38-yard line with abandon. As you saw, Ethan Dancero dancing his way out near the 38-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 here for Manheim Township, just trying to get something going right now.
And Bill, the play that Manheim got very positive yardage, 20-plus yards, they fumbled right at the end on the punch-out strip by the Cougar defense.
Yeah, I think just baby steps here. Let's try to get a first down, then maybe another one, and then let's get across the 50.
And that's a great point that you make, Bill, is trying to get something started here. This is a team that's used to piling up some offense in a hurry. 1,592 passing yards for the season, 1,766 rushing yards, and they're having no luck so far against this Harrisburg defense the first half. There's Clancy. And Declan Clancy came with over 800 yards. Tough time finding any room.
Second and 8.
It wasn't until 1992 that they made it to the district final against Cumberland Valley.
Second down now, 8 yards to go. Again,
well, they bobbled up that screen right away. Great defense.
I mean, it's like Harrisburg is in the backfield lining up with the huddle somehow. Another loss.
Yeah, this has got to be very frustrating over on the Manheim Township sideline. We've all been coaches, whether it be basketball or football, and sometimes when things get going the wrong way, your head's spinning so fast you can't slow things down in your own mind, and I'm sure that's where they're at right now.
And you try to come up with something that you can get offensively, and there's really not a whole lot there with this Cougar defense playing fabulous football. And I brought that up because the Cougar defense in 92 took Cumberland Valley to the wire. Cumberland Valley ended up winning the state title with John Ritchie, Tim Riffle's squad. Harrisburg played them tooth and nail, lost 10-7 on a late field goal.
We've got a timeout in the field, and I want to remind you right now that any middle school players looking for a winter basketball league and a chance to play in a live game format, call Advanced Hoops. Players in 6th to 8th grade will compete for 9 weeks starting December 10th on Sunday nights. This league is run by top Advanced Hoops coaches and former players. Go to www.advancedhoops.com to get a spot before this league fills up. Advanced Hoops has 3rd and 4th grade girls and boys, 5-on-5, as well as 5th and 6th grade boys and girls as well. Call Advanced Hoops at 717-657-2620 or go to advancedhoops.com. Don't forget, at halftime, we'll have your Jack Giambalvo halftime report. We'll also have a Ryan Hoffman interview with me at halftime. Looking forward to that. And also Charlie Fortney will be stopping by to talk about the winter sports schedule as well.
3rd and long here.
So here we are, 3rd and long, 3rd down, 12 yards to go for Manheim Township, just trying to get a first down right now. And there's Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson's going to take it himself. Hayden Johnson across the 40, out near the 44-yard line, but well short of the first down.
Gary, I brought up that Harrisburg team in 92 because they got blown out by Cumberland Valley here at Severance Field in the regular season. But by the playoffs, did they play great defense? Only gave up 10 points, but they had Ahmad Collins, Sean Lee, the father of the quarterback for Harrisburg now. They had Hank Poteet, they had a lot of very good football players, and their defense rose to the occasion. This defense reminds me of that defense, their ability to cover so much ground so quickly and be opportunistic like they've been so far today.
Down 24-0. It'll be 4th down and 6 from the 43-yard line. They're going to go for it here. You really think about it, this is all you got right now. You got to get in the game. And a great pass right across the middle. And there it is, Cadell. And that's the guy who has those wonderful hands. That's his 70th catch of the year. And a big first down right here for Manheim Township.
Yeah, that was crucial. That's sort of they're on the other side of the 50 now. Now maybe they can take a deep breath and regather. But, Ford talks about, think about all the great running backs and receivers that come out of Harrisburg. Realistically, they've had great defensive players that have come out of it.
Absolutely.
I got one that's not too bad playing for Dallas right now, right?
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Look at this, cross the middle. Got a good pass down. And is it an incomplete pass? Yes, it is. But that was a good pass. But again, broken up back there. Good defense by Harrisburg. And that was Kamir Williams again.
Yeah, and also number 6. Number 6 was in on that hit. Granberry.
Amir Granberry, who we normally talk about receiving, but was in on the hit as well.
Hit him right in the back, and little shaken up there is the receiver that took that shot. I think it was at number 10.
That was Palumbo. And Palumbo, key last week, he had 3 interceptions last week against Hempfield in that big win they had 42-7. We'll take a very quick break right now. We'll stay right here because he's getting up, and that's good to see. We don't want to see anybody down the field, especially in the championship game.
Hayden Johnson showed his ability there. That was a nice ball right down the seam, and those are balls that generally the Township receivers have held on to all year.
That's right. Good point.
Harrisburg maybe a step quicker than most of the secondaries they face, and they get on you a lot more quickly.
And that's the advantage of Jesse Haar's defense, playing a lot of zone. These defensive backs for Harrisburg have zone eyes, and with those zone eyes, you're flying to the football and making either interceptions, bat downs, or big hits.
I was wrong on Cannell. It was his 65th catch of the year. But just look at the number of receivers there. Kingsbury with 29, Palumbo with 34. He was the intended receiver in the last play. Nick Good with 23, Wolf with 32. So they spread it around to a lot of different people. And we have a timeout on the field, and it will be for Harrisburg. We'll take one as well. It is 24-0, 6:30 to go to the half. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
And welcome back to Severance Field. 24-0, 6.5 to go here in the first half. And we'll have our Jack Giambalvo halftime report and extended talk with Evan Brook, who's on the sideline for us today from Fox 43, and his perspective on the game. And again, a lot more highlights and chalk talk here with Bill Chase and also Ford Chapman. So lots going on right here. For this Harrisburg team is not making any mistakes so far. And right now, Manheim Township trying to get a little bit.
You got to get on the board here, Gary. You just got to get on the board if you're Manheim. And with a touchdown.
And you get a flag down. Passes complete out there again to Cannell. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you, Chad. So we'll see what the referee decides. They're usually in the hold territory there.
Now that looks like it's going to probably be too many guys on the. Yep. What that is, that's what that is one guy was covered. See, he threw the flag when the ball was thrown. So one of the receivers out here, if we can get a replay of that, we'll be able to see one of the receivers was covering up another receiver. He was supposed to be off the ball, and he was on the ball. They ended up having an ineligible receiver downfield, which is a 5-yard penalty. It's the only illegal procedure. Here we have it right here.
It's an interesting call, yeah. So now it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 38-yard line.
You know what it was? It was not enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
6 guys on the line of scrimmage.
So
a guy was not covered up. There was 6 guys on the line. You need 7 on the line.
So back it comes now 5 yards. We're at the 43-yard line where it'll be 2nd down now and 15 yards to go. And it's going to be Johnson back there with Clancy right alongside of him. Clancy doing some blocking there to try to get people off him, and again trying to find him in, and does. And again, Cannell is the guy they look for almost exclusively. Cannell all the way down to the 31-yard line, where they now have 3rd down and manageable, Bill.
Yeah, that was a nice job. He looked dead right there as soon as he got out of the pocket. He stuttered a little bit, and he found his favorite guy coming across, and Cannell made a couple of nice moves to pick up some yards after he caught the ball.
Cannell came the whole way from the right side. He was the lone receiver to the right. He did a shallow drag at about 4 to 5 yards. And, yeah, right, Bill, the quarterback picked him up late, and sort of like a safety valve, almost like a flare of a running back, same concept. And Cannell is just a heck of a receiver.
And Cannell with 15 touchdown catches for the season also. So now it's 3rd down. Call it 3, and you know this is 4-down territory now for this team. Right across the middle. Good pass over the middle again. And diving inside the 10 down near the 9-yard line. A great pass that time as they found Asher Wolf coming across the middle.
Those are the things they do really, really well. Little hitch-ups, 6-7 yards, and then running with the ball after. And Johnson has a really nice vision in the pocket most of the time when he's not pressured.
Asher Wolf with his 33rd catch of the season. And 1st down now for Manheim Township is looking very sharp on this series.
Harrisburg looking like they're in man free here.
And flag is thrown. Illegal procedure again. There might have been a little movement along the line there. So it'll bring it back 5, makes it just a little harder now. So it'll be first down, and that'll be on the 15-yard line. So first down and goal from the 15. So 5:07 to go here until the half, and Harrisburg's had it all their way so far. Manheim Township looking for a little sliver of light right here. They have to score in this series if they're to stay in the game. Johnson looking to find somebody, finally does, and is it a catch? You're going to say no, it hit the ground. Had his man right there, Palumbo, and Palumbo did a good job of selling a catch, but it must have hit the ground.
Yeah, it looked like it probably did without the...
Talk about Palumbo on the season, 34 catches for 4 touchdowns and 412 yards. Made a heroic effort there to try to get that one. It'll be second down and goal here from the 15.
I hate to be a master of the obvious, but they do have to score a touchdown here. Harrisburg's going to get the ball to start the second half.
And just keeping Harrisburg's pressure off him right now has been a labor all day long.
Sure has. Cougars in man again. Straight man with a free safety over the top.
Here's Hayden Johnson.
Number 1.
Straight back. Again, pressure. Again, take it down. Ball's loose. And it's picked up by Harrisburg. Another fumble here. And, man, hope dashed right there. 4:36 mark. Fumble by Johnson. And Harrisburg's got it. Man, oh day. That defense, and again, swarming all around him that time like a whole bunch of bees for.
You can't wait to see the replay here. And the quarterback stepped up in the pocket, was considering whether he should throw it late or run. You'll see it here.
Look at the pressure. There's Reynolds from the backside again. It's Reynolds that causes the fumble. And then it's picked up there by number 32. And we're talking about Damone Maxwell Jr. who gets the fumble recovery. Give, again, Reynolds. He's the guy back there, I'll tell you what.
Reynolds, did you see how quickly Reynolds got to that quarterback on that replay? And as we talk about, take you back to like 1994, Harrisburg had 2 bookend defensive ends, both first team all conference in Mid-Penn 1, now known as the Commonwealth. And one was Quincy Brandon, one was Marcellus Sumter. They got on you so quickly if you're back to pass as a quarterback as an opponent. And there's one there. You step up in the pocket, you think you have clear sailing, and a guy gets you from behind and causes a turnover.
14th fumble recovery of the season for Harrisburg, and they are in operating condition again, this time inside just the 20-yard line. And Lee looking to pass. Lee to the outside. Lee throws an interception. Wow. How about that? Right back at you. Interception taken by Antonio Vasquez, and just like that, on the interception, Manheim Township with new life.
All right, take a deep breath, Manheim Township. And
that's right. 32 yards. You got 32 yards, and you have plenty of time. 4:30 to go, and 4.5 minutes left to get yourself in the end zone. Not only is Harrisburg up 3 touchdowns, they converted all 3 two-point conversions, so they're really up 3 TDs and a field goal. So really behind the 8 ball here is Manheim, but like you said, Bill, a few moments ago, they got to get the ball in the end zone before the half.
Vasquez with an outstanding job there of playing at that time and picking it off.
A few moments ago, Ford was talking about how quickly they close everything on Johnson once he wants to step up in the pocket. And if he can, it's really difficult for him to slow the game down in his mind right now because he knows things are faster than what he's been used to.
This time he flats out to Clancy in the flat. Clancy trying to get the corner, nothing doing. And who is it on his backside again? Take a look. Terrell Reynolds.
Bill, when we would go against Harrisburg, I say when I was at McDevitt in the 90s, some great battles. It was the one team that we would go double tight, double flanker instead of because those DNs can come off those tackles so quickly. You need more max protection. If not, your quarterback's going to be getting hit at all different angles and potentially the ball getting stripped out like it did last time.
That was the Kai Lewis on that tackle, not Reynolds that time, number 5. So I want to give credit where credit's due. So bring up now second down and 9, 3:54 to go here in the first half. Manheim Township down 24-0 right now, trying to find something. And there's Johnson taking off again, and Johnson is going to be taken down again. It looks like Williams on the tackle. check that.
I like the way he keeps his eyes downfield as he's moving, but he might be better served in some of these situations just to put the ball down and go.
Sure. Reynolds got a nice job there by coaching staff of Manheim. They had their running back also help with Reynolds along with the tackle, so they had sort of 2 men on Reynolds to keep him from wreaking havoc.
And that was Amir Jones on the tackle that time for Harrisburg. So it brings up 3rd down and 8. Ball at the 30-yard line. Manheim Township. 4-down territory, obviously. Here's Johnson.
Come back.
Johnson guns it out to the flat and right through Cannell's hands. You won't see that often. That was a pretty good throw.
I wonder if that sun's right in his, looks like that sun's right in his eyes.
You look back and that ball just was, and that was gunned.
Yeah, very nice pass.
Yeah, really nice.
And you won't see that often because Cannell pretty sure-handed, as you've already seen in this game.
Second one he dropped today. He dropped a deep slant that was right in the money.
That was going to be a 1st down plus.
Yes,
he made a phenomenal catch against Cumberland Valley in the end zone. About a 30-40-yard pass down the sidelines in the 4th quarter to get them the victory. Right over a defender, number 4 from Cumberland, just went up. 17 for Manheim, just snagged that football. Great play for them to win that football game.
37-31, they won that game. So 4th down now, and a must moment here for Manheim Township as the flag goes down.
Delay.
And delay of game, I think.
Yeah, they won it by 6. They were down by actually 2 because Cumberland Valley kicked a field goal to go up with about 6 minutes to go, and they scored and went for 2 to go up by 6. Cumberland Valley drove late, got in the red zone, but could not score, ran out of time, and Manheim pulled that victory off.
Well, if you didn't think it was hard enough with 4th down and 8, try 4th down now and 13 as the ball comes back a little bit more to the 35-yard line.
So you got your best guy down here one-on-one.
Look for it to come back to Cannell again. I'm sure he came back and said, throw it to me one more time. I won't drop it again. The only problem is finding time to do it, as again, pouncing on it is Harrisburg with that great defense. And number 74 jumping in there, that's Kevin Brown, the freshman, 6'4", 240 pounds, stuffing that drive, and now Harrisburg gets it back. Decent field position to start at a 24-0 lead.
They just teed off on him there.
Oh,
sure did.
Well, the obvious passing down, and you didn't have to worry about anything but
that's right,
the pass.
Gary. Good point.
So here's Harrisburg now with the football. Could they put more points on the board before the half?
We're going to see Hopkins or a safer pass here. I'm sure they're not calling a pass play down the field after the ball was picked. Lee had an INT after that on his last snap.
And here's to Hopkins is moving a whole pile. Just watch where the pile is, and you'll see where Hopkins is, out just short of the 50-yard line. As he gets nice yardage on the opening play here and sets up 2nd and short.
Harrisburg's going to move a little bit quicker here. There's plenty of time to get 50 yards.
Yeah, they can still run the ball. They have 2 timeouts.
And there's Williams back there with him alongside of Hopkins as well. So look for Williams to get involved here in one of these plays. He seems to be the guy they go to when they need something big. And there he goes. Williams slashes. Williams inside the 50, down near the 40. Make that 41-yard line now.
Harrisburg does a great job of forcing the defense to cover sideline to sideline. And forget about the long balls that Harrisburg could throw that has been notorious for years. But sideline to sideline, and whether it's the running game or that quick passing game, they're really good at spreading out the defense,
so
keeping them off balance.
1st down at the 42, they'll call it now. Sean Lee.
Tight end in the game.
Calling out the signals right here, and Lee's going to take off himself, and Lee across the 40, inside the 35, down near the 30, and Lee close to another 1st down. In fact, I think he's got it.
That was actually a tackle, looked like a tackle over, Bill. Looks like we had 3 linemen to the left of the center there. The tight end was ineligible to the right. Illegal, the formation was legal.
So it's 1st down and 10. Ball at the 31-yard line. 151, now 150 to go here in the half. It's just ticking away, and a lot of time on this play.
Same look.
Taking a little bit too long, the Cougars are, but
really
2 timeouts. They
moved the tackle over again.
You got to think maybe Cranberry or Coke on this one. This time, no, they say, how about Hopkins? They say, Hopkins, I'll get it. I'll drag a few people with me, and I'll try to almost break away. And a touchdown-saving tackle right there for Manheim. Nice play by Declan Clancy to get the
Harrisburg's
tackle.
doing that. There's nobody eligible to that side. It helps the defense out, but it gives them 3 really good blockers to the left side of the center, which you can see there, because they don't usually have a tight end to begin with.
I put Hopkins out there in the slot, empty backfield. Again,
Here's the quads look here. They're going to probably bring Hopkins back in. Yep, here he comes.
And a lot of time on these calls here. Now down to 114, 113.
Now, because they're ripping off 10, 12 every play, though, the clock hasn't become an issue.
Not yet. You almost have to think this now turns from a running play into a passing play, don't you?
Well, they have two timeouts. They're okay.
Maybe not. As they say, give it to
They're
Hopkins.
going to use one right here.
Yep. So timeout will be called.
They haven't yet.
Maybe.
Yeah, they got it. They got it there.
There it is. 52 seconds to go here. We have a timeout on the field, and we'll keep it right here and talk a little bit about what Harrisburg needs to do here, what Manheim Township needs to do. First of all, Manheim Township's huddle, what do you do right now? That little stop right there bought them some extra time and made Harrisburg have to kind of go to this timeout.
Well, now I think they're most likely going to have to throw the football, especially since they're not lining up for a field goal anytime soon. I see them probably looking down, maybe coming to the short side here to the single receiver side, spread them out the other side. They've been getting one-on-one coverage down here on the short side, so I could see that.
For Harrisburg, what are you looking for here?
I still really like that screenplay that they ran. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that on one of these next 3 downs. They fake one way, come back with the screen to Hopkins the other.
Yeah, the same
and he has
play
a load to bring down one-on-one, as we've obviously
now
seen.
look what the set they're in here. They're in that tackle
in that.
over set. If you look to the left of the center, there are 3 linemen there. So that is a running type set for them to that side.
So he's got Hopkins to the left here. And there's Hopkins to the flat. Hopkins leading the charge as out of bounds goes Lee, just inside the 20, maybe around the 19 or the 18-yard line. 47 seconds to go, so using the sideline instead of having to take a timeout.
And now if you're Harrisburg, you know you have 2 downs to get the 8 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8 to 9 yards.
They need to get down right around the 11-yard line, between the 11 and the 10.
They're in that quad set again here. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Plenty of time here. Clock stopped at 47.
I'm thinking they're coming down.
4 receivers.
Yeah, right
here.
here.
There's your individual shot. You called that.
It's got him to the end.
2 plays ago, Bill.
And not able to hook up there as he had his man open. That was Rucker Cash in the end zone. But not able to get him. So it's 4th down now. And again, where you catch it, you want to catch it somewhere down inside the 10, hopefully, if you're Harrisburg. 24-0, 42 seconds to go here in the first half. Our Jack Giambalvo halftime report coming your way at halftime. And we'll be checking in with Evan Brook for an elongated halftime segment here.
This down is so huge for Manheim Township right now if they want to have any hope.
Give you any momentum going in the locker room. So Lee, look.
Screen, here's the screen we wanted.
Yep. There it is. There's Hopkins. Hopkins going to barrel forward. Hopkins fights his way down inside the 10, down to about the 5.
Penalty late. Face mask probably.
Yeah, I think it's face mask too.
And a late penalty here. We'll wait and see what the call is.
It's going to be a face mask, but you got to be careful if you're Harrisburg. That clock is going to start once the chains are moved and they mark off the penalty. And there are 34 seconds left. You have 1 timeout.
1 timeout left.
So you want to get a play in right now.
And now the officials meeting here. Let's take a look at what we've got on the penalty. As now we're about to get word of what the call was. And they're going to say face mask against Manheim Township.
They're going to have the ball about the 5-yard line, maybe the 6.
And this is the game for Manheim. They've got to stop them here, obviously. Can't fall behind 30 or 32 to nothing here.
So, guys, with 1 timeout left, you do have time right here for 1 running play at least, right?
Oh, plenty, yes.
Yes. Lots of time.
So,
but you got the ball, the clock's going to start here. That's why you got to get ready. If you're Harrisburg, you don't want to let 10 seconds go off without snapping the ball.
And they're getting lined up, getting their play called. 34 seconds to go here in the
realistically, you can run 4 plays down here.
Yeah. We have a timeout by Manheim Township.
And is that advantageous to Harrisburg right now? That's a big question. Does Harrisburg get an extra time here to come up with something? What do you look for to play in this situation for Harrisburg, now knowing their character a little bit for?
I'm looking for anything, quite honestly. But with 1 timeout, you can afford to run the football here. But I'm thinking right away when they're inside the 5. I'm thinking about that wildcat.
Yeah. Wildcat to Williams.
Yeah, I'm going that wildcat to Williams because you have a timeout. Manheim, as Bill said, has not been able to stop it. And man, it's just such a multiple threats that the Cougars have here.
And this is a similar place where they run their 2-point conversions. So this is very comfortable for them right here at the 4-yard line. Right, Bill?
You run the wildcat one time, two times, and you're going to be in the end zone. You have Hopkins out in front blocking.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Coach Cal Everett has decided to do here. Cal Everett and Mark Evans, just great coaches this year, doing a wonderful job. And let's see what Cal comes up with on this one. So Harrisburg.
No, they're not going Wildcat.
Sean Lee, Hopkins back in the backfield with him. Where's Williams? That's the question.
They have another big. They have those cheater backs over here to the left.
So there goes Hopkins, and Lee keeps it himself. Lee's trying to find a way to get in, and Lee's going to get in for the touchdown.
Wow.
From 4 yards out, Sean Lee.
Great feet.
At the 28-second mark of the half, Sean Lee, touchdown, and Harrisburg is dominant.
His dad wore number 24 here, was a very, very good corner. And as you said earlier in the show, went on to play at Penn State. He's on the coaching staff right now up here in the press box to our left in the other room. And his son, 2-year starter, only a sophomore. Great patience there.
Yeah, he didn't panic. He didn't try just to dive up into the line. He waited.
Oh, look at this. Hold on a second.
We're
going to have an extra point attempt here.
They're going to kick the extra point. First time in forever. And who's that? Maxwell in to do the extra point honors? So it's going to be Lorenzo Fairley. Lorenzo Fairley down, up. Is it through? It's all going right. Fairley, and boy, I'll tell you what, the people here just look like they saw a rare bird because Fairley kicked the extra point. And it is 31-0. Harrisburg leads it with 28 seconds to go in the half. Everybody in the place has fainted. They're going to have to get him back up and rejuvenate him because he went for an extra point the normal way, right?
One heck of a performance by the Cougars in front of a very, very nice-sized crowd here for late November. On both sides, Manheim brought a good amount of fans, and Harrisburg has brought a great crowd. They love their football here on Saturday afternoon at 1 for decades and decades, even back when it was the John Harris Pioneers who played here. The Tigers of William Penn played out at Fager Field, uptown. But when they played each other, Gary, where'd they play? Every year, 10 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day at Hershey Stadium.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
And when they joined together in 71, here's a trivia question for both of you. Who was the first head coach of the Harrisburg Cougars? He was here 1 year, 1971 season.
Not George Chomp.
George Chomp was already at Ohio State starting in 68.
Okay.
That's a good guess, though.
Mickey Minnick.
Mickey Minnick, the John Harris head coach for 3, stayed that first year before going to Steel High in 77. That's correct. Good job.
Now, I'll try this. George Chomp, in that year, they went to the Rose Bowl at Ohio State, undefeated, and Rex Kern was a quarterback.
That's right, and as a sophomore. And they beat O.J. Simpson and USC, and they won the national title.
Yep.
And the starter was number 80 tight end, Jan White from John Harris High School.
Yep.
Future Buffalo Bill.
And here we go, quickly getting to the outside, trying to get the outside, get to a corner for Manheim Township, and brought down there is Ethan Dansereau. So it'll be 20 seconds to go here in the first half, and first down and 10 here for Manheim Township, who has just seen, well, waves of black and silver coming at them all day long, the color of the uniforms here for Harrisburg High, and they have just been waves and waves and waves.
One more trivia for you. Jan White, state champ in what event?
Probably high.
I'll give you a hint. It's the all-time state record. They got rid of the event. They no longer have the, what are you going to say?
Triple jump?
Must be a hurdles of some
The
sort.
180 low hurdles, which became the 300 intermediate hurdles. That's right.
So 20 seconds to go here until the half.
1967.
Here's Hayden Johnson. Had some moments here a few moments ago, but the fumble really turned things around again. Johnson looking across the middle, finds his man. And a good pass out there that time completed to Asher Wolf, his second catch of the day. So 15 seconds to go now.
Probably
First
going to
down.
get a spike. You could get a spike here because the clock's running.
Here you go, look at it
Throw a
again.
quick out. Get
Out
out
to
of
the
bounds.
outside. And again, it's going to be Wolf. Wolf steps out near the 45-yard line, maybe about the 43. And we'll see what they give. About the 45-yard
Yeah,
line.
get 14, 15 yards here. You can kick a field goal.
Well, or how about just throw it to the end zone here with 6 seconds to go. Take a shot. Of course, getting the time to do that is been the biggest
That's
problem
right.
all day for Manheim Township.
And that's 50 yards in the air. I'm not sure.
That's tough to get that done.
This is a very solid Manheim Township football team and
really
a great
are.
program that their coach has put together in the last decade.
Ranked number 5 coming in here today in district, and there's going to be offsides, I think, for Harrisburg. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Mark Evans has just been hit with a juggernaut of Harrisburg Cougars, just offensively, defensively, special teams. Great first half performance by Harrisburg.
It would be fun to see, is it just maturity of Harrisburg this year, or did they do something a lot different since that 24-20 loss back on the 10th of September to this Manheim Township team?
It was early in the year, and I think it may have only been their second game.
It was.
And, you know, that makes a big difference.
Plus their head coach was out for about a month during that time.
So everything operating on every level right now for Harrisburg High. 6 seconds to go here in the half. Straight back goes Johnson. Johnson looking. Johnson being pressured again. Johnson trying to find someone. Johnson still trying to find. It's going to be hold somewhere back there. And all the way down, batted up in the air, incomplete. And the half cannot end on a penalty, but
it can on an offensive penalty.
It can on an offensive penalty, you're right. So let's see if that was a hold. The half is over. We'll take a look here very quickly. And it's a hold. That's it. And it's declined. And it's halftime. And it's 31-0 at the half right now. Harrisburg High in control. We are going to head to our Jack T. and Balbo halftime report. But we have a Ryan Hoffman interview with me coming up next. And we'll have a special look down on the sidelines with Evan Brook. And also our Chalk Talk here, our highlights and stats. All right here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. Back with a Jack T. and Balbo halftime report after all this.
Hi, I'm Gary Sutton. I'm the host of High School Sports Live TV, the game of the week, every week on Fox 43.2. And you know, we're out here today, though, at Hoffman Ford. And I'm reminded a little bit of this truck right here. Might have been the one that Ryan Hoffman used to drive around in. He doesn't anymore, by the way, here at Hoffman Ford. He was featured in a Just Call Me Ryan segment back when he was a younger man. And Ryan's with us today. Ryan, good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Very good today.
You're about community, and you're about helping the community. Anybody that's ever watched our High School Sports Live TV broadcast, your name's always prominently there, the Hoffman Ford Player of the Week. We talk about those all the time.
It's something that my grandfather, obviously, again, he was mayor of Harrisburg for many years, so again, it's a name that people trusted to vote him in as mayor at the time, so that started it. Obviously, continue that through us as the Hoffman brand, if you want to call that, in our community to make certain that we can carry on that legacy for the next generation. I hope to pass it on to my kids someday.
You know, life is full of partnerships, Ryan, and your dad and your grandfather had a partnership in the original business. You and your brother Todd have a partnership now. You know, partnerships can always have a yin and a yang to it. I'm not sure which part you play, yin or yang, but you know, talk a little bit about the give and take of a partnership and how that works together. You were talking about teamwork. Now you talk about teamwork between two people and making sure this runs, and Hoffman certainly runs very smoothly because of that yin and yang, you and Todd. Talk about that.
Again, it is the yin and the yang. We are two different, but together we make a whole. He likes the service side of the aspect, and I like the sales side of the aspects of the business, so it works for us. From that standpoint, again, like you said, my grandfather and dad, they kind of did the same thing. My grandfather was more on the fixed operations, and my dad was more on the sales side, so it definitely plays out to our advantage, having us both here under the same roof doing business together as partners. Because again, we help our employees, and our team makes Hoffman Ford who we are. He's obviously my brother, and I love him dearly.
So Ryan, we're going to show you a little piece of film right here. We had a number of people who, you know, talk about your role in the community.
Throughout my educational experience as a teacher, coach, administrator, and now superintendent of the Steelton Harrisburg School District, and the Hoffman Ford has supported us tremendously through various projects and efforts that most likely are there to support the students, support the kids, support the student athletes, and everyone involved. Most recently, we worked with Hoffman Ford on a project to purchase 3 vans. By doing so, we were able to offset expenses for transportation costs for field trips, sports teams, and those types of things.
Hoffman Ford has been a very important community partner with projects like the Heroes Grove and other projects throughout the county. For example, baseball fields, football fields, soccer fields. I can tell you numerous times where We asked Hoffman Ford for their help, and they were always there.
When I walked in Earl Huffman's office over 20 years ago and I asked for support to get a program started where we could put baskets in a gymnasium and be able to just do these things for the community and try to build these programs, he didn't hesitate. He hasn't hesitated for the last 20 years, and I can't say enough about how much his support and Huffman Ford support has meant to us.
What do you think when you see that bunch of people talking about what Hoffman Ford means to them?
It makes me feel really good because, again, that's what we're about here at Hoffman Ford, is giving back to the community. So,
Hoffman Ford, Ryan Hoffman, Todd Hoffman, carrying on a tradition, a custodian of excellence, if you will, right here at Hoffman Ford and Jonestown Pike here in Harrisburg.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
And welcome back to the Jack Giambavo halftime report. I'm up here with Evan Brook from Fox 43, who was on witness protection in the first half. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, so he couldn't hook up with him. But great to have you up here. As we go through some of the highlights of the first half here, Evan, because you're a guy that played receiver at Howard University. We talked about that in the pregame show. You had a perspective down there in the sidelines. So let's take a look at some of the plays here in the first half. Yeah, so they really led this 31-0 lead here at halftime by Harrisburg. It's been dominating so far. Capital Region Insurance Agency first half highlights. Yeah. And take a look at all started out with this guy, Hopkins. Man, can he bang it forward, huh?
Yeah, Kenny, we talked about him in the pregame show. He was going to be one of the big stars for Harrisburg, and he's showing up time and time again, getting those carries, getting those tough yards. He's a big man, so he's tough to take down, and he's showing it.
And how about the 2-point extra conversion, which they almost always do? We say almost always because that changed a little bit, but here's Lee throwing out the outside to Hopkins again, who dances down for a 51-yard touchdown. He gets to the open field. Don't get in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. I love the way he can get jiggy in the open field. I love the throwback screen. It's always a good play to throw the defense off, as you mentioned. Get the guys going one way and coming back the other.
How about this guy, Williams? Kyle Williams Jr. is absolutely dynamite, going in for yet another touchdown here.
Absolutely. Yep. The Temple commit has been as advertised today in the punt return game as well. You see him streaking down the sideline as a running back, as a receiver. He's a do-it-all weapon, kind of like a Debo Samuel, Curtis Samuel type, and he's showing it all today.
57-yard touchdown return there on the punt.
Yep.
They got 2 fumble recoveries in the first half, 14 for the season now, and then this beautiful pass to the outside to Elias Cook, who is just an outstanding freshman.
Yes, he is. He's been balling and putting on all season long for the Harrisburg Cougars. Sean Lee, we mentioned, he's dropping dimes, really showing his skills as a pocket passer.
Now, 31 points the whole half, but that 1 point right there might have been the most exciting. I think everybody fainted because Harrisburg kicked an extra point.
They never kick. They never
fairly kicked the extra point, and he was fairly accurate because he went right on through.
Of course. So you got to love that too as well.
Talk about your perspective down there on the sideline, what you saw. Harrisburg was so dominant on both sides of the ball in the first half. What stood out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just their energy on the sideline. As we mentioned, it started with Mekhi Hopkins, Kyle Williams, getting Sean Lee some easy rhythm throws and stuff like that, and just building off that on offensively. Obviously you get a big turnover on defense, and the sideline really gets up for that. That just gets everybody excited. And once wants to keep playing and keep making plays. So, a dominant effort for sure. And then on the other side for Manheim Township, you just don't want to lose your pride in a game like this. Obviously, you want to come out and fight as best you can. We saw Nick Palumbo go down a little bit, but he's all right, came back in the game. So you just want to go out, show school spirit, show school pride, and try to get back in this game as best
Be
you
interested
can.
to know what Mark Evans is saying to his team right now. Like, hey, our first series, we got to run, we got to do the right things. What do you think he's saying right now to his kids?
Yeah, I think he's just saying, guys, stick in the fight. We're here for a reason, right? Obviously, they faced a bit of adversity in the first half, going down 30 points. But he's just going to say, stay with it, stay in the fight. We game plan. We're going to get some stuff working in the second half and try to, make a game of it and make everybody proud to be.
Evan Brooks, great to have you with us today, man. Super job, and always watch Evan on Fox 43. He's the guru of football over there, I'll tell you what. And great to have you up here at halftime. Our Capital Region Insurance Agency halftime highlights here, and we'll be back with more on our Chalk Talk as Bill and Ford join us right here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
More options, less settling, more value, and more smiles. Capital Blue Cross Medicare gives you more opportunities to stay healthy, enjoy life, and be there for the people you love. With more coverage, more benefits, and premiums as low as $0, accepted by top doctors across the country. More ways that Capital Blue Cross Medicare is going the extra mile for you.
If it's used car peace of mind you're looking for, Hoffman has it. Hoffman Ford brings you a wide selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, carefully chosen and inspected for dependable driving pleasure. For the ultimate peace of mind, shop the Hoffman collection of Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles. If you're looking for a used vehicle you can feel good about your loved one's driving,
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
(31-0). Harrisburg leads at the half. Manheim Township have lost 4 games all season long by a total of 11, so this is like a shocker today for them. But I want to take a look at our halftime statistics right now as well with Bill Chase and Ford Chapman here, and we'll take a look at those here. We get them up on the screen. But the first half, when you look at the individual stats of the first half, they were pretty impressive. We'll talk about those in a second, but take a look. The biggest impressive score is that 31-0. 80-14 in rushing, 114 in passing, 64 for Harrisburg. You look at the total yards, 194-78. The 2 turnovers to 1 turnover. The one really inconsequential for Harrisburg, but the 4 sacks again. 32 sacks coming into this game. Add 4 more to that, 36 guys. Harrisburg just all over Manheim Township in the first half. Your thoughts on it, Bill?
Yeah, the sacks definitely jump out at you, and the fact that Township's dropping some balls that probably they don't normally drop. So you take those two, and those are just drive killers. And it's, coming into this game, it's hard to beat a team 2 times in 1 year when you're both quality teams.
For your thoughts on the first half?
I thought Harrisburg's athleticism, their speed, and Calvin Everett and his staff, the way the unity, the offensive cohesion, and then defensively putting pressure all over the field, just a great half of football by the Cougars.
Terrell Reynolds leading the charge of that defensive team. He is an animal. I mean, he comes off the sides constantly. I mean, just a great rush constantly on the backfield. You look at the first half, it reflects that. Johnson was 8 for 16 in the first half for Manheim Township, a quarterback for 88 yards. 4 rushes for Clancy for 7 yards. Here's a guy that's getting a lot of yards per game. 3 catches for Cannell for 27 yards. On the other side for Harrisburg, you had 9 out of 12 for Lee. Again, very efficient, 114 yards despite the 1 interception. But he had 1 touchdown, 5 rushes, 18 yards, and a touchdown pass. 101 all-purpose yards again for that guy Kyle Williams Jr. and a touchdown there. And Hopkins, 102 total yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half. It was all Harrisburg all the time. So very quickly, what do you do to start the second half here if you're Manheim Township first, Bill?
Well, they're going to be on defense. You'd love to see a 3 and out, but just looking at the nature of how the game's gone, it's going to be very difficult. I know they're sitting in that locker room, and everybody's thinking that we don't have much chance right here. And emotionally, if you're down against a good team like Harrisburg, it could get to Mercerville pretty quickly.
Before you talk about this Manheim Township team, shorter drops, is there anything you can do to get the Harrisburg defense off your back? What do you do? Or what do you do defensively to stop Harrisburg as they get the ball to start the second half?
There are some things you can attempt to do, and I'm sure Mark Evans, his staff's Mark Evans is a heck of a football coach. He was just our Big 33 head coach for Pennsylvania just a few short years ago. He knows his football. He's done a great job at Elko. Here at Manheim Township, the culture there is phenomenal. Just Harrisburg is just out executing, out athleting, and just playing superior football right now.
That's our Capital Blue Cross at AT&T halftime stats and our analysis here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with Charlie Fortney right after this on Fox 43.2.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
Welcome back to an extended Jack Giambavo halftime report. I'm honored to have Charlie Fortney up here with us.
I'll be Junior. He's a lot younger than I am.
Charlie
More athletic.
He shoots it better. Yeah, no. Charlie Fortney here with us, who has just done a great job all year long and years previous in getting these broadcasts on. And Charlie, today's the last day of really the fall season for us. They get ready to head into the winter season, but we're talking a lot about what goes on in advanced hoops. People say, what's happening right now? We got some big stuff coming up here for winter basketball.
Well, I'm really proud of the fact that we have the middle school basketball league. If you're a kid in 7th or 8th grade, or we even have some 9th graders in there that didn't make the basketball team or just want to get extra basketball on Sunday nights with our guys, Coach Aaron, Archie, and that whole crew, you can December 10th, go 9 weeks. You play 5 games every evening. The games will be refereed, officiated, and we had like Jack Argento last year. I know his parents wouldn't mind me saying this. He's at Wilkes College playing right now. He got cut from the middle school basketball team at Hershey, from what I believe, where he definitely wasn't a main player then. And he came out for that league about 5 years ago, and it turned his whole game around. It just gave him confidence. And that's happened to a lot of players. And so we're excited about that. If anybody wants to still get a spot, we're registering kids. They can go to advancedhoops.com. But also there's chances to shoot the ball during the winter. There's chances for 5th and 6th grade boys and girls, 3rd and 4th grade boys and girls to play extra basketball and play 5-on-5 game situation. We have a great plan this winter, so I'm excited about that.
AdvancedHoops.com is where you can go. You can also call 717-657-2620. And, you know, the great thing about Advanced Hoops, they teach you how to play basketball. And so if you're looking to supplement your game, you're looking to improve your game and step up, Charlie, it's fair to say you can't go anywhere better here in the area to get teaching in all the positions and just learning how to play the game the right way.
Our guys try to do a good job with the kids, and I think anytime you can get in the gym, a warm gym in the winter when it's snowing or when it's cold out, it's a good day, and we've seen a lot of kids improve, and we got a nice plan for the kids this winter. We look forward to continuing that success.
And teacher coaches who care about you as people. They'll take care of you when you're there. They'll have you learn. There are lots of places to ask questions and get better. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention also we've got our High School Sports Live TV basketball schedule up. Kirk Smallwood, our analyst this year, and it's going to all be starting on Thursday, December 15th with our Cumberland Valley at Carlisle game, and then on the 20th, York and Central York, and that's always a great battle of the Cats.
Yeah, I love I also like the McDevitt at Steel High matchup because Steel High has a brand new bleachers. Why didn't they have those when I was there? But anyway, brand new scoreboard, brand new score clock. Again, sponsored. One of the sponsors, Huffman Ford. I like the Hershey at Central York is a nice one because Central York always has a great ball club down there. Milton Hershey at Trinity. Milton Hershey looks to be a top team in the Keystone. Trinity's going to be a really good team this year. So mark my words out there, folks. Trinity's going to be. Larry Koslak always finds a way to create something or ship something around. But and also, too, I like the Lebanon at Hempfield matchup at the end of our schedule. Hempfield's supposed to be the best team coming out of LL this year. And then we'll do the Mid-Penn title, Gary, and go down to York and do the York Championships. And it's just going to be a great year. And not to mention wrestling live on TV. Cumberland Valley, Central Dauphin. Cumberland Valley, a great Cedar Cliff team. A lot of good matchups. So. 5 great matches coming up there, all on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2, our favorite partner. And don't forget to watch Fox 43 Sports as well. Charlie Fortney with us here at halftime. I'm Gary Sutton. We'll get ready to start the second half here in just a moment on High School Sports Live TV. Thanks so much, Charlie.
More options, less settling, more value, and more smiles. Capital Blue Cross Medicare gives you more opportunities to stay healthy, enjoy life, and be there for the people you love. With more coverage, more benefits, and premiums as low as $0, accepted by top doctors across the country. More ways that Capital Blue Cross Medicare is going the extra mile for you.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customer. Students, begin your professional journey in a high-demand field with Groff Tractor. Contact us today to discover the power of our technician internship programs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
So a while back I thought to myself,
So it's Harrisburg setting up first down and 10 here. Ball at their own 40-yard line to start the third quarter.
Quick. Oh, they're bringing him in motion. Jet sweep.
Williams in motion. Williams gets it. Williams across the 40, out near the 45-yard line where he'll step out of bounds. By the way, when you look at the first half numbers, in terms of some additional stats, we did not have first downs. Manheim Township had 5, Harrisburg 11. Third downs, 1 for 6 for Manheim Township, 3 out of 6 for Harrisburg. Time of possession, 10:59 for Manheim Township, 13:01 for Harrisburg. Run-pass ratio, 6:20 for Manheim Township, 21:12 for Harrisburg. And penalties, 4 for 18 yards for Manheim Township, 2 for 15 for Harrisburg as we begin the third quarter here. It'll be second down now and 5 from the 44-yard line for the Cougars. Hopkins gets it, and Hopkins gets jammed up right about the 43-yard line. And that hasn't happened that often today so far, Bill Chase.
Yeah, if they can meet him in the hole, he's not what we would consider an elusive running back. But once he gets rumbling to the second level, it's hard to get wrapped around him.
North-south guy, and again, get him early. So it'll be third down now and 6. Loss of 1 on that play. Lee starts to call out signal, looks back over. Hopkins back there with him. 3 receivers far side, 1 near side. Gary Sutton, Ford Chapman, Bill Chase with you here, live from Severance Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Teams trying to move on to the semifinals of the state, where they would meet State College. And there's an interception again. Manheim Township with the interception may have it to the house. All the way down it goes, and the interception picked off there by Palumbo. The guy had 3 of them last week, and he takes this one to the house. Big play here to start the second half, and just what the crowd ordered here for you if you're the Blue Streaks.
And what happened was the ball was thrown late, and the guy covering the second receiver going to the out at about 10 yards was not the man that intercepted the pass. It was Palumbo. He came off with a short guy and backtracked to make the pick. And very heady play by him, and he sort of baited Sean Lee into throwing the football.
4th interception in the last 2 weeks by Palumbo.
So, Gary, you wanted to know maybe what they talked about at halftime and what they can do to get themselves up again? Well, how about intercept a pass and run it back?
How about it? And that was a flood route. They're going to go for 2 here, 31-6.
So 45-yard return. And they put a man in motion here, but again, it's going to be illegal procedure against Manheim Township. So that now makes it a 8-yard effort.
Expect an extra point here, though. Expect the extra point team to come on.
I don't like going for 2 here necessarily.
Start chasing points?
Yeah, are you thinking you're going to score 4 touchdowns and get 4 2-point extra points?
Yeah, I'd kick it right now, definitely. You have a really good kicker, but Coach Evans is going to There's nothing wrong with going for the 2 here, but at the 8-yard line, the chances of getting it are more middle, although you do have a little bit more room if you're going to throw it.
Here's Johnson. Puts his man in motion here. Johnson open, throws to the end zone high.
Interference.
And it's going to be interference in the end zone.
That ball's going to go to the half the distance. It'll go to the 4. You'll get a crack from the 4 here for Manheim.
You know, and just to come back to the stats, the halftime stats, they're not overwhelming in such a way that you would think the score would be 31-0. But those 4 sacks stick out. People underestimate the benefit of a sack for the other team because when you start going backwards, it puts a lot more pressure on the offense, and it's hard to get a first down after you get sacked.
So that'll bring up now the next extra point effort here. And are they going to bring in someone just to kick it?
They're just bringing in different personnel,
more
of a regular set instead of a spread set here, needing 4 yards. Find it hard to believe they're going to run the football, though.
Right. Pretty much committed, though, to getting 2 points here, that's for sure.
No doubt.
So here we go now. 31-6.
They have 12 men in the field, so that's going to be, and now you're back even 1 yard farther than what you were last time.
It's maybe the longest effort for an extra point or 2 I've ever seen. So you're going for 2 here. You're going to get it.
Just kick the extra point. If you're Mark Evans, just kick the extra point. You're good.
And he waves off the flag. It shouldn't be this
hard.
Oh,
no, he called a timeout. You need those 3 timeouts. Don't waste a timeout on a conversion here early.
So a timeout called on the field here. And I do want to remind you, by the way, during the timeout here, that any middle school players looking for a winter basketball league and a chance to play in a live game format, call Advanced Hoops. Players in 6th to 8th grade will compete for 9 weeks starting December 10th on Sunday nights This league is run by top Advanced Hoops coaches and former players. Go to www.advancedhoops.com to get a spot before this league fills up, and it will fill up in a hurry. Advanced Hoops has 3rd and 4th grade girls and boys in 5-on-5, as well as 5th and 6th grade boys and girls, too. Call Advanced Hoops at 717-657-2620 or go to advancedhoops.com. Gary Sutton, Bill Chase, Ford Chapman with you, Evan Brooks up here, and we're going to hear more from Evan throughout the half on some comments on his perspective of the game as well.
If you're going to get back in the football game, you're going to need those 3 timeouts. Down 31-6 right now. Hate to waste one on a conversion here. It's your Manheim.
Well, you go straight over center this time, hand it off to Clancy, and Clancy just jammed up, and that hasn't been available all day long, and so unsuccessful 2-point conversion, and it remains 31-6, 10:48 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come right back to this High School Sports Live to be on Fox 43.2.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
And welcome back to Severance Field here. 31-6 with 10:48 to go, and a little bit of life here for Manheim Township so far. Bill Chase is there ready to kick off, and they got 6 on the board.
Yeah, again, I would have liked to seen them just kick and get to 7 and just keep the smooth flow of the game going because that kind of took away any momentum that they had. I'm not saying it took it completely away. This does.
And then you kick it out of bounds, and you're going to get it out near the 35-yard line to start, right?
Or Harrisburg can make them kick it, take it back 5 and kick it over. With their skill guys, I wouldn't be surprised, but they're going to take it on the 35. You know, we saw this back to the timeout. If anybody watched a couple nights ago the Mississippi State at Mississippi game, Mississippi was down 8. They score late after getting an incredible turnover on their own goal line to drive 90-some yards. They score. They have 3 timeouts left, so they don't get the 2-point conversion. They can still get the ball back and get a field goal to win it, but they call a timeout, and they're calling 2 timeouts. They don't get the conversion. They have to kick an onside kick. They don't get the onside kick. Those 3 timeouts can be...
Hopkins on the carry. Pickup of about 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 for Harrisburg. Hopkins on the carry. Good enough for the Harrisburg first down.
And get that ball back. Get that offense on the field. Try to score some points here.
Ball at the 47-yard line now. It'll be 1st and 10 for Harrisburg.
Shotgun split backs. No tight end in the game. 3 wideouts for the Cougars.
9:55 to go in the third quarter. In motion goes Williams. Hand off again to Hopkins. Hopkins bumped back for a moment, and Hopkins gets loose. Manages to get forward out near the 50 and gets some yards out of what looked like nothing, Bill Chase.
Yeah, and that's where Manheim's got to rally. They stop him 2 yards deep in the backfield, but it's hard for one guy to stop him. And get off your blocks, get two more defenders there.
Heck of a job getting 3 yards for the Cougars after Manheim played really good D, as you said, and got him in the backfield.
2nd down and 7 now from the 50-yard line for the Cougars. Trying to get one of those marches going that eats clock and ends up with a touchdown.
Bunch trips here to the near side.
Lee and Hopkins here in the backfield. Handoff inside, was that Granberry got the ball, and Granberry across the 50 down near the 45-yard line is the inside jet sweep type handoff there for Granberry.
Yeah, puts them in a manageable 3rd and 3. This is where they want to be at this stage of the game.
A little different wrinkle that time. We haven't seen that play yet in the game.
Yeah, we saw it once before. They went trips, bunch trips like that and motioned to the backfield. Here's a quad open set. A lot of times, you've seen it already. They'll bring Hopkins back in the backfield at times.
Well, they bring Hopkins back here.
Here's where they ran the quarterback draw. Because Lee.
There goes Hopkins now, and you kind of get the feeling he'll get the handoff. Not really. Lee gets right behind Hopkins, and Lee dives toward the first down yardage, but it looks like he came up short, maybe by about a yard.
But they're going to get a chance to go for this on 4th one. Manheim to get the stop here. Back to the momentum you talked about, Bill. 4th and about a yard and a half.
And it's a very short yard. And, you know, normally everybody's looking at Hopkins on this play as they bring a few players in right now to...
Yeah, they're going to go to their power backfield where they cheat 2 of the backs right up here on the left side. Very difficult to stop this.
And that looks like the place you normally give it to.
Williams in the backfield?
Yep, Williams with the Wildcat, and very difficult indeed. Williams breaks loose and gets brought down on a touchdown-saving tackle there by Declan Clancy, but not before he gets a first down, and Harrisburg's march continues again. This is like a replay of what we've seen all day long.
Yeah, there are little victories and big victories in each play here, and that would have been a big victory for Manheim Township to stop them right there.
So the ball now down to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for Harrisburg. 7:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter at Severance Field in Harrisburg. The right to go on and play State College in the state semifinals. State College winning 20-7 last night. Here goes Williams again out of the Wildcat, and flag down.
Everybody wasn't set. It's legal procedure on the Harrisburg offense. Receivers weren't set out there.
And assuming Harrisburg, and it's probably a good assumption at this stage, goes on to win this game, you've got a Commonwealth battle in the state semifinals.
Well, they lost early in the season, and of course that was the team that won the Commonwealth, and they were right behind them, and that's their only loss. Harrisburg's 20-6.
And Harrisburg had several players out, including Sean Lee, the quarterback, for that game.
So it'll be interesting to see this Harrisburg team up against that State College team next week if they go on to win this game.
Yeah, very solid State College football team.
Look
Ran
at
through the mid-pen, Commonwealth Division, as you said.
Hopkins to the outside all the way down to the 17-yard line where he comes out. Normally his work is between the tackles. Not that time. He hit the middle and bumped to the outside and showed you he has some room going lateral.
Yeah, that was a nice move. That's unusual to...
Hopkins hurt his leg there when he stepped down right near the out of bounds. Not a good sign.
Down off the field right now. So Hopkins down for the moment, being attended to by the medical staff there.
He's probably got 20, 22 carries in this game already.
Well, he is a workhorse, isn't he?
Hopefully for Harrisburg, he is not seriously hurt. I hope it's not a knee.
I believe that on that carry, Hopkins crossed the 1,000-yard mark. As there's timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. And we'll come back with Evan Brooks' perspective on this. He's up here in the box with us as well when we return here on Fox 43.2.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
We have Evan Brooks here from Fox 43, who's been part of our team today, and we're going to call this play right here. Evans, you can stick with us for a second, and Bill Chase and Ford Chapman just taking a break for a moment. But it'll be first down and 10 now. Ball at the 16-yard line after Hopkins' run. Hopkins going over 1,000 yards in that run. Here's the Wildcat again for Williams trying to get to the outside. Will he do it? Williams diving for the corner and just a little bit short there. 3 yards to go here. It'll be first down and goal as Williams with a nice run. We've seen that kind of mix up all day.
Yeah.
Hopkins in the middle, Williams dancing the outside, short passes. It's been a great combination of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like thunder and lightning out there. Kyle Williams and Mekhi Hopkins, you know, both showing off their skills. Like you mentioned, Williams on the outside showing off their speed.
Here's the first down again. And a first and goal for Harrisburg here, trying to extend the lead, trying to answer the touchdown a moment ago in the interception with Palumbo.
Yep.
Palumbo's 4th interception in 2 weeks, by the way. And now here's, and again, there's going to be another flag down, so we have a hanky fest here for the moment. Evan, you know, what do you like about this Harrisburg team? I mean, they just seem to operate so well together.
I love their balance. They're really balanced in terms of running the ball, passing the ball. They know where to go for their go-to receivers. Obviously, we mentioned Elias Koch on the outside. They know when to get him involved, especially in the red zone. He's a big target. And, you know, we mentioned the 2 running backs. Love how they use both of them, Kyle Williams, Mekhi Hopkins. They just have a really good balance offensively, and everybody seems to be in cohesion. That offensive line, you can't go without mentioning them. They've been pushing people around all day, all season. So
that offensive line just is into the secondary, and you don't have to do a whole lot. Just run behind them and enjoy yourself, right?
Absolutely not. The holes are easy to see for them.
So here we are again. This time it's going to be Lee back there. They're going to the Wildcat a bunch of times and may still go to it on this. Let's take a look. The handoff to Lee to Williams. Again, flags down. Williams trying to get to the end zone here. Inside the 5 to the 2. Dives, but I think it's going to come back again for another 5-yard penalty. And it's illegal procedure against Harrisburg again. Final thoughts here. Manheim Township coming back. We saw Palumbo with his 4th interception in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You see Manheim Township during the year. What did you really like about this team?
Yeah, you know, another team that really sticks to their guns, knows what they're good at, tries to capitalize on the things that they're good at. They're a really sound football team. They're very, very disciplined. You mentioned Nick Palumbo. He's been a big-time player for them all year. Hayden Johnson, the quarterback as well. Coach Evans really has them play a good brand of football. So, you know, it's always tough to beat teams who are super disciplined and know what they do well and capitalize.
In one of those games today, you could be in 5th rank in the district, but one of those games today you dream about not having, and yet you come up against a superior team here today so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's tough. To be the champs, you got to beat the champs, right? So, you know, Harrisburg's gone for back-to-back district titles, and they've been pretty dominant today. But, you know, Manheim Township has nothing to hang their hat on.
Well, Evan, watch us play here together, and thank you for dropping up here with us again for some commentary here at the half. Or the second half. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So new man back in there now for Harrisburg. Is that Ryan Epps?
Williams again.
And it's Williams again, straightforward, and they've loved that Wildcat today. But, again, you can watch Evan on Fox 43, where you'll see him on just about every sport. But keep in mind, he was a former receiver here for Howard. He was pretty darn good, but he's a great guy on the sports department. Really appreciate you being with Evan. Thanks so much.
Of course. Thank you, Gary.
Take care. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm going to get back up here to Fort Chapman and Bill Chase here. And Bill now and goal for Harrisburg is a little bit of a hanky.
Track of the game here. It's been. It's so easy to lose focus when you're up by this score late in the game in any sport.
Here you go, a little roll into the left that time, and
I thought Lee should have followed Epps up in. I like this. I think it's Ryan Epps, number 12.
Yes.
Hard for me to see the number sometimes, but I really like the job he does blocking on the edge and leading up in the hole. That's sort of an H-back position. He doesn't get to carry the ball, but he's a big body coming through there.
He's normally a tight end, but I'll tell you what, you get behind him and you can go a lot of places.
Well, they're going to get behind him now because they got the tackle over to the left. They're doing that for a reason.
There you go. And there goes Lee. Lee trying to get around the corner, and Lee will get around the corner and in for the touchdown. And Lee with a 6-yard run here to answer the score by Manheim Township at the 4:08 mark of the third quarter. Sean Lee, 6-yard touchdown, and the onslaught continues now 37-6 as the Cougars add 6 more points on here and answer that interception touchdown a few minutes ago. And take a look right here. Look at Lee, just so smooth. You know, he's such a great manager of the offense, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And he has a really good job of reading on those RPOs, handing off when he's supposed to, throwing the ball out.
And people are going to go into shock again here because in to do the extra points is Lorenzo Fairley.
Right now, Lorenzo is at least tied for the highest percentage in the state.
He's 1 out of 1, and let's see if he goes 2 out of 2 here. We hope not to jinx him on this. Now, I'm not quite sure what that was, but the official...
Maybe his helmet came off the play before. That's the only thing I can think of.
Zakai Lewis. So your holder comes out. Maybe you go back to getting 2 here again. They're going to send in Kamir Williams instead to be the holder here in place of Zakai Lewis. So now we get a timeout. And we get a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well and regather ourselves here. It's 4:08 to go in this one, 37-6. Harrisburg leads it. This is the High School Sports Live TV broadcast on Fox 43.2. Hopkins or Williams? Who gets it here? Or Hopkins not in.
They're kicking.
Oh, they're kicking. That's right. Fairly's in. And welcome back. And I said Hopkins or Williams. I wasn't thinking for a second. They got Fairley in here, and everybody in the place is excited because this is the second extra point he's going for today, which you never see here at Harrisburg.
Let's see if he can get a little more elevation on this one.
Lorenzo Fairley. You want some style points, don't you? Oh, look at that. He did. He got it up. And it is... good, and look at the celebration. You haven't seen that kind of celebration on touchdowns today.
How about it?
I'm going to tell you, this is important from the standpoint that what if there's 1 second left in the game?
Absolutely.
And you're on the 5-yard line, and you're down by a point. What are you going to do?
Darn right. And this still
have halftime up.
You need to. Good point, Bill.
38-6. Harrisburg leads it here. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live TV.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
They've been very good inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Welcome back. 11 plays, 65 yards, 6 minutes and 12 seconds taken on that, and a 6-yard run by Lee to cap it off. And Bill, you were just talking about how efficient they have been so far.
That's so important at this stage of the season. If you get inside that 10, 8-yard line, can you finish it off? Especially if you're not a team that wants to kick field goals. Well, nobody wants to once you get inside the 10. And Harrisburg has been really, really good at that today. And if they can continue that, they're going to be awfully tough.
Here's a good run coming back here out near the 40 to 38-yard line, where it'll be set up first down and 10 to go here for Manheim Township. Is on the run back there was Antonio Vasquez.
Now this is a little bit of their Achilles heel, where I mentioned earlier, Township starts with good field position all the time. So instead of starting back at the 22 or 25, you have teams starting at the 38, the 40, the 45-yard line. A lot easier to go 60 yards than it is 80.
Well, let's see what Manheim Township can get going here on offense, because they haven't scored an offensive touchdown yet today. The one touchdown has been via the defense. Hayden Johnson in there. Clancy back alongside of him.
This is where 44 lead blocks, and there it is. Yep.
And Clancy
straight ahead, but nothing.
Stood up right there. Number 33, Jarrell Britton, a sophomore, in leading the tackle on that charge.
That formation was where they like to hand the ball off to the halfback, but Harrisburg defense very stout.
Yeah, they just haven't had really any success being able to run the football today.
Harrisburg is absolutely stymieing the offense today of Manheim Township, the Blue Streaks. So it'll be second down now, 10 yards to go, ball spotted at the 39-yard line. So here's Hayden Johnson, drops back, looks, flushed out of the pocket again, throws sideline, beautifully covered over there on the sideline. And again, they were looking for their main receiver over there, Cannell. Instead, it's broken up back there by number 20 for Harrisburg. and that is Quincy Brannon.
Yeah, it was nice coverage.
We brought up his dad. I brought up his dad earlier as a defensive end back in the mid-'90s. Good football, basketball player.
And how about Quincy Brannon, a freshman?
Yep.
Yeah. So 3rd down and 10 now. Talk about playing man-for-man defense. That was about a textbook finish there for Brannon. So 3rd down now. Johnson fires far sideline. Again, nothing home there for Cadellas. He was well covered over on that far side, so it'll be 4th down now.
In the first game of the year, Manheim lost to Cumberland Valley, a game they completely out-statisticed Cumberland Valley. And then Manheim came back and beat Harrisburg in week 2 to be 1-1. But in that Cumberland Valley game, Manheim had 75 snaps. Cumberland Valley had 33. Manheim had 23 first downs. Cumberland Valley had 7. So Manheim did really well statistically, but couldn't win the football game. And then came back and got the W against Harrisburg, and they've had a really good season.
Manheim Township did the same thing to Hempfield in their 17-14 loss, but couldn't put points on the board. But they were just dominated the game, but they walked out with a 3-point loss.
Yeah, and I think if Township can go down and get an offensive score in this game, keep in mind that their quarterback's a junior, their best receiver's a junior, their best running back's a sophomore.
Yeah.
They had a running back, I think his name's Nick Good, who went out with a knee injury.
That's right.
Early in the year, coming back from a junior year.
Good point.
The
Bill.
shelves are stocked.
Get some positive feel coming off of this game.
And how about the punt there by the quarterback Johnson? He pulled up a Cedar Cliff Bob Craig. He put that out of bounds on the sideline. I'm going to give up 10, 15 yards. I'm not going to give the Cougars a chance to return this punt.
Ball at the 43-yard line now for the Cougars as they set up shop again. And again, it's going to be Lee back there.
Pistol.
It looks like he's got Williams back there with him this time, or somebody else maybe. Can't get the number just yet.
Delay game.
And again, a delay of game call, so 5 yards back. Had a lot of penalties. First half was pretty much penalty-free. Second half, not quite the same, Bill Chase.
Yeah, and it's these 5-yard varieties, which to me, again, is just a loss of focus, a sloppiness that's going to develop into the game here.
You don't want it to develop in the next week, too, if you're getting ready to
No,
play another game.
I don't really feel that this type of thing carries over from one week to the other necessarily.
Right. You lose a little bit of intensity here, is what you're saying?
Definitely.
So here's Lee back here. First down, 15 to go at the 38-yard line now. So Sean Lee has thrown 2 interceptions today, 1 for a touchdown, pick 6, but has otherwise done a great job here all day. There's Williams. Williams trying to scoot forward for a couple yards, gets out near the 39-yard line.
For the most part, between the 20s, Township's done a pretty decent job with the running game, especially on a lot of first downs.
What do you do in this kind of situation where you're up right now, pretty handily, 38-6, 2:39 to go in the third quarter?
Focus on hold on the football. Focus on hold on the football and moving the chains a few times to run the clock, no doubt. Try to stay injury-free.
And generally be efficient.
Be efficient.
So here's Lee now. Second down, 13. Hand off to Williams. Williams scoots across the 50 and down near the first down as he gets probably within a yard or maybe less than that of the first down. It'll be 3rd down now and a short 1.
And this is where Harrisburg's been good all day. They pick up the first down after getting stuffed on first down. Now they're back to 3rd and 2. They pick it up almost every time.
This is one where you see Lee keep it or maybe get it off to Williams again. Hopkins out of the game for the moment. Again, taking a lot of time to get those plays in here, it seems to be. So Lee, 8 seconds left on the play clock. There's Williams. Williams caught in the backfield, and Williams is brought down there, and that play never really materialized well at all as he brought down all the way back at the 48-yard line of Harrisburg.
And that's what Manheim Township needed a little more of earlier in the first half, being able to win those victories on 3rd and 4th down.
So you got to think Lee's going to be punting the ball out of here. He's back just about 4 or 5 yards, probably step back 2 more if he's going to do it. Maybe try to block a cadence here and get it offsides. And now he'll step back.
Manheim's putting nobody back, so get a forward roll here on this punt, just like he did the last time.
And he gets exactly what he wanted last time. Rolls down inside the 15, down near the 12, near the 11, where he'll be down by Harrisburg. 53 seconds to go in the third quarter. Harrisburg leads at 38-6. Manheim Township will get it back here and a chance to get something going offensively.
Gary, I got to go outside the press box at halftime, talk to some of the people out there up here in the bleachers, and a former Harrisburg High head football coach, Mike Elby, up in front of the press box. He also was a John Harris graduate, great football player for the Pioneers, graduated in 1970, and had some really good teams here at Harrisburg in the early to mid-90s. Longtime assistant prior to that. Also going to talk to Dave Kagras, the quarterback for John Harris through the 60s. Huge USC fan.
It's amazing when you look at the history of Harrisburg football and what they've had over all the years when you go back to John Harris days and so forth. Here's your handoff from Johnson, and again, that front line is like a wall for Harrisburg. It's been like that all day long.
It looked like there was a little bit of a seam, a little gap, and they can close things down so quickly.
Yes. And by the way, Dave Kagras was a quarterback who was a quarterback right around his time, just prior to him. Number 10 here. Quarterback at USC for 3 years. Ward number 8. Anybody know that one?
Jimmy Jones.
Jimmy Jones, absolutely. Won a Grey Cup out in Canada. Great man. Still in the area.
Yep.
Super guy.
You talk about a great manager on offense. There he was.
Yes, he was.
Who seemed to turn the big play when you really needed it when he played for USC. That was Amir Jones again on that tackle, that last one. He's been tough all day long. We talked so much about Terrell Reynolds, but don't want to miss out on Amir Jones and a lot of these other guys, too. They're just playing outstanding football. So now you got a timeout called for Manheim Township. 4 seconds to go in the third quarter, and they call timeout. We'll keep it right here for the moment.
Yeah, you go back to some of the, and I didn't have the opportunity to see those teams play, but that conference back in the day was loaded. With big-name high schools when football, you were probably putting 10,000 people in the stands for a Saturday afternoon.
Sure
game.
was. You had different Rosses, Ollie Ross, Willie Ross, on and on at William Penn, Gary Ross, etc. You had some great football players from the William Penn side, and they would play every Thanksgiving Day at Hershey Stadium all the way through 1970.
And clearly, George Chomp was ahead of his time.
No
back
doubt.
in the late 60s.
The great Ray Ernie, who went to William Penn, 1958 grad at William Penn, just passed away a month ago, was the head coach assistant here under George Chomp, head coach at Carlisle,
son
Dickinson
played for
College.
Rutgers, right?
Yes, son Scott played at Rutgers, his son Doug played at William & Mary.
So 4 seconds to go here, second down and 9, ball at the 13-yard line for Manheim Township. And there is Johnson getting loose, and Johnson gets tackled down at the 15, so a gain of 2, and that'll end the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth, 38-6. The Cougars lead it. All here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
I mean, number 2, black. 2 black, yep. And welcome back. It'll be Manheim Township with the ball now at their own 15-yard line where it's third down. And now you're throwing a little screen play in the middle here. And again, nothing doing as they get out to 20 short of the first down. And you're down 38-6. Do you go for it here?
I don't see any harm in going for it.
No.
I would tend to probably punt it.
I think they're going to come in and punt it right now.
You don't
want to turn this into...
You don't want to be embarrassed
No.
completely.
So here is Manheim Township, and it's going to be Johnson punting it out of there. Again, Harrisburg will get great field position. So you want to make sure, first of all, you catch the ball here, and he was running for a while there, and it's going to go out of bounds. It might have been touched there by the Manheim Township player, but
Great punt, though. Great punt there.
It was 42 yards, the yard line of Harrisburg, and they get the ball back now with 11:07 to go in this one. A whole lot of guys today. You can look at the Hoffman Ford Player of the Game. A lot of nominations you put on that Harrisburg side today.
Sure could. No doubt about it.
But I tell you what,
all-out team effort by the Cougars today.
We're looking today too at the defensive side of things. There may come a player of the game from defense today, and number 2 looking pretty large down there right now.
Sure is. And let's take nothing away from the season Manheim Township had, and Coach Evans just done a remarkable job taking over for, I believe Coach Melnick was just prior to him, and had Manheim Township had some good teams, and Coach Evans has just really done a really good job.
And then, of course, Cal Everett on the Harrisburg side, just year after year, continues to churn it out, despite not having a whole lot of bodies on the team. That's one of the things we talked about last year and this year.
And 4, I'll give you a trivia question. Where did Coach Melnick go from Manheim Township?
He went out to the WPIL. I'm going to take a shot at this. I'm going to say Mount Lebanon.
That's correct.
Okay.
Team that won the 6A title
Coach
last year
Palco,
under Palco.
Yes.
By the way, we want to
In
talk.
2011, when we won the state title at Central Dauphin, we beat Manheim Township and Coach Melnick in overtime, game number 1
He did
at
a nice,
Landis.
He did a
good
nice
job.
there.
Yes, he did.
So we're back here at second down, 7 to go. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Cougars. Sean Lee still in there. Handoff. And Kyle Williams trying to get near sideline, gets around the corner. Kyle Williams at the 45's got a first down and brought down at the 43-yard line. Kyle Williams just has such great moves, and it's nothing terribly quick. It just, he sets up, he's so smart.
The really good running backs, really good guys with the football in their hands, always make that first guy miss.
How about it?
And that's, when you can do that, you're going to be a good football player.
Harrisburg on the march again. Ball down to the 43-yard line of Manheim Township. Still 10 minutes to go.
No rush, of course. I mentioned the Rosses from William Penn. Gary Ross, 62 grad, I believe, down in the bleachers, down there in the bleachers, in one of the front rows. How about that?
There you go, man in motion. And look at that. Get it to Amir Granberry. Granberry with that inside hand up. Third time we've seen it this game.
Yes.
And it's good for yardage every single time.
Coach Chomp got the Harrisburg Cougars to the Western Final, where they had lost a heartbreaker to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And a decade later, you have Calvin Everett getting his team to 2 state championship games.
Second down and 5. Actually looks closer to second down and 6. They have 5 on the board.
Yeah, the job Calvin and his staff has done here at Harrisburg is just a phenomenal job of getting these kids to play together, to play hard, to be focused, have the work ethic in the off-season.
Here goes Sean Lee straight up the middle, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown. 39-yard run here at the 8:54 mark of the fourth quarter. And Sean Lee in for a 39-yard touchdown run. That's his second run of the game for a touchdown for Sean Lee, and he has 1 touchdown pass to go with it.
Yeah, he's had a very nice game. I mean, for a 10th grader, he's years ahead of where he should be.
You look at some of the young guys in this team with Brannon and with Koch, and they're freshmen, and a guy like this sophomore. I mean, the shelves are stocked pretty well here at Harrisburg for the moment, too. So here is, again, the third time today for the extra point, Fairley. Lorenzo Fairley.
Aforementioned about Harrisburg playing Pittsburgh Central Catholic that year, and my college teammate and roommate, Terry Totten, the head coach of Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
And this one's blocked.
Actually coached for Chomp at IUP.
Yes, he did.
And then they met up in the finals.
Western Final.
So
heck of a football game, too.
So the block there for Manheim Township by Taylor Valou keeps them from getting the third straight extra point. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
More options, less settling, more value, and more smiles. Capital Blue Cross Medicare gives you more opportunities to stay healthy, enjoy life, and be there for the people you love. With more coverage, more benefits, and premiums as low as $0, accepted by top doctors across the country. More ways that Capital Blue Cross Medicare is going the extra mile for you.
Welcome back to Severance Field here in Harrisburg, the District 3 6A championship game in Harrisburg, rolling toward a win here, back-to-back district championships, 44-6, very similar to the score they laid on Central last week, 44-7. This is a different team than it was earlier in the season, and this will be 5 straight wins heading into the big game with State College next week, where they lost 20-6 earlier in the season. State College, of course, winning the Commonwealth Division of the Mid-Penn. 7-1 record there, Harrisburg, or 7-0 record, Harrisburg at 6-1. And by the way, I want to mention also another name you're going to see this year at the state championships, the name of Chapman. It's going to be up there at Cumberland Valley Field. Your dad, that's got to be a special moment with the state championships coming to Cumberland Valley this year for.
How about that? 4 years they're going to be there. Soccer's there, field hockey's there, and
volleyball was there last week.
Volleyball, yeah, they did a really good job renovating that stadium. And Mike Craig, athletic director, just really neat to see the turf field.
Very impressive facility.
Really
right
is.
now. And
New
scoreboard. Yeah, it's really cool.
And it's great that Cumberland Valley's got it. Great that your dad's name's on there too. Nice recognition.
Thank you. Yeah, he would be very proud of that. We're all proud of him. My dad actually, went to school here at John Harrison. Left coaching under Chomp and Minnick after 5 years here to get the Cumberland Valley job back in '71 when this became Harrisburg High.
So here is Manheim Township. They'd love to get an offensive point on the board. And take a look at this. Talk about
great run.
No
tough, hard-nosed run.
How about that?
Back to the John Harris, back in the 60s under Chomp and Minnick, the weight training program, ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Not only did they have great athletes, but they were highly conditioned and worked together and whatnot. That's why they were one of the best teams in the States during that run in the 60s.
Declan Clancy with a nice run there to get a first down on 1st and 10, so ball out to the 48-yard line.
Well, let's see Township take it down and get one.
I'd like to see him put something in here. And again, the body of work that they did this season in a really tough division over in Section 1 speaks for itself. Lost 3 games by 11 points. So this is a team that has fought their way into this as the number 5
That's a penalty.
team.
Didn't call it.
Okay, and around the corner, here goes Clancy again. Clancy with another run for a first down as he has it down to the 41-yard line of Harrisburg.
If this were Canada, that would have been okay, but it's not. The motion man, they let the motion man go. He was going forward about 5 steps going forward at a slight angle, not completely forward, but it was definitely a penalty. When you go in motion, you can go straight across or backwards. You cannot be running forward at the snap of the ball, which he was.
First down at the 40-yard line of Harrisburg. Clock continues to roll, 7:49. And Clancy, Johnson still in there. Man goes in motion here, coming near side. And the handoff again to Clancy. And what they're doing right now is just saying, hey, we'd like to get a touchdown, just doing what we did during the course of the season. But this time, Harrisburg stands them up right there at the line of scrimmage.
The fact that Manheim Township beat 2 teams in the playoffs that they had lost to in the regular season tells me a lot about the kids that they have and the coaching staff and how they prepared them coming into these playoffs, because they were only the 5th seed coming in.
Talk about Cumberland Valley and also Hempfield, and beat them fairly, it came back to beat them after losing a heartbreaker to Hempfield early in the season, and also a close one to Cumberland Valley to start the season.
And I agree with 4. I was at that first game at Cumberland Valley, and they clearly were the best team on the field that day. I'm not taking anything away from Cumberland Valley in that game, but Manheim Township outplayed them.
Here's Johnson again being chased down from behind by one Mr. Reynolds, and again the flag down. That usually is in the hold territory. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Terrell Reynolds all day long. This guy has been absolutely dominant. 2 sacks. How many rushes? He caused the fumble, the one play that on Johnson there when it looked like they had something going on in the first half. So he's really been a key to this whole defense attack all day long.
I've noticed he'll take a few plays off here and there, but when he wants to come, you
Get out
better
of
have
town.
more than one guy blocking him.
So we march it back again on a hold, and just when you thought you got something going a little bit, Manheim Township, they march it back here again. 6:43 to go here in the 4th quarter. Don't forget, We'll have our Capital Blue Cross post-game report, including the Hoffman Ford player of the game, Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game, and we'll talk about the game itself and what they have coming up next week with State College. But what an effort here this afternoon by Harrisburg. What a great stadium here at Harrisburg, too. I'll tell you what, the Severance Field, you walk out on the balcony from the back of the high school, you got this beautiful setup on this side, a great press box over here. You have a young lady doing the game over here today, and she's done a great job. We listen to her all day long.
Yeah, she's doing it for the Harrisburg Network. And the other thing is, real quickly, about this stadium, the home and the visiting side are switched from what they were years ago. But in 2003, when Coach Chomp got the head coaching job here, he came from Central Dauphin at that point, retired from pro and college coaching. He asked for the moon, and he got it. And they really fixed this stadium up very nicely, Gary.
There's Quincy Brandon, the freshman, with another stop there. It's now 3rd down, 21 yards to go, ball on the 48-yard line.
They have a football facility there in the end zone opposite the scoreboard. The school's been renovated since then, and it's just 2003. The new turf's put in this year, actually, and a new track and a new scoreboard.
Johnson looking. Johnson trying to get out of there, being rushed and brought down again on another sack by guess who? Terrell Reynolds.
Yep. You wanted to come that time.
3rd of the game, 22nd sack of the season. Those are numbers that... I'll give you an example. Manheim Township had 11 sacks all year long for the whole team.
Yeah, he jumps off the screen at you when he turns with that corner.
Yeah, he's something else. Take a look at him here. Just off the right side. There's no one's going to stop him. I mean, he's just so quick, and then he's after you and just stays on you. It's like a dog at a bone. So 4:56 to go. Clock still going. 4th down now. 23 to go for Manheim Township. And the Blue Streaks are going to celebrate a great body of work this year. What an outstanding season.
Delay.
But you have a delay called here. Again, you walk it back 5 more.
You know, with all the things that go on, Bill, with offenses at the high school level now compared to, for the last decade or so, you end up getting more delays because you're so much you're responsible for. Quarterbacks are reading defenses, trying to get guys in motion, set guys up, and all the RPOs and different reads, zone reads and stuff, and they're trying to do all that, and before you know it, you take your eyes off the play clock and it's down to 0.
44-6, 4:32 to go in this one.
Yet there's no question they're putting a lot more points on the board than they used to.
4th down and 28.
And the quarterbacks in shotgun have a lot more responsibility.
Again, Johnson flushed out. And Johnson's open. Johnson across the 50. Johnson may get a first down out of this if he keeps on going. Johnson down the sidelines has a first down on 4th and 28 and all the way back down to the 25-yard line of Harrisburg. How about that one?
What a run.
I thought once he turned the corner he might get halfway to the first down marker, but...
biggest run of the day for Manheim Township, period. From 38 down to the 24. So the Blue Streaks have a little bit of something going here with 4:06 to go here in the 4th quarter. On the Harrisburg side, the Pride says we don't want an offensive touchdown today. On the other side for Manheim Township, they want to get at least an exclamation point on what has been an outstanding season. So 3:55 to go here. And there's another flag. And I think it's going to be on the Manheim Township time, at least a warning that they were crowding the sideline. So will you get a penalty? No. Johnson back there with Clancy again. Johnson, quick look outside. He's got his man open out here. And a good pass, stepping out of bounds. And open there was Nick Palumbo with the catch.
In the 1969 season, John Harris, the year before, had her 39-game winning streak snapped by Steel High at Steel High, 18-7. Steel High came in here undefeated, number 2 team in the state. John Harris, number 1 team in the state. It was 49-0. Top 2 teams in the state, 49-0 John Harris. Steel High was right down here marching in that end zone. Mickey Minnick put the starters back in.
Wow.
To preserve the shutout, 49-0.
Well, Harrisburg has a lot of new uniforms in there at the moment. Here's Johnson rolling right. Johnson throwing for the end zone. And it's picked off. And you talk about preserving the shutout offensively anyway. Picked off there by number 24 for Harrisburg, and that is Raytel Bryant,
If that would have been number 20, I was leading up to that. Chucky Vini intercepted a pass after that. Steel High threw it in the end zone, and he ran it back about halfway midfield to end the ball game. Yep, number 20, Chucky Vini, a three different position athlete at Lock Haven State College back in the day.
Wow. Right, Raytel Bryant with the interception here for Harrisburg, and Raytel being celebrated throughout the stadium right now.
Coaches were, and I'm old enough to know, clearly a different breed back in those days where they loved each other, but boy, they were going to beat your brains in.
You're right, and called a timeout up 49-0 to put the starters back in. I don't know about that, but Mickey Minnick did it, and they preserved a shutout.
So Harrisburg is going to get the ball back now, and new quarterback in there. And the ball hands off on the left side, forward for about a yard, maybe two.
So this has got to be one of the first years that the WPL big school eliminated already.
How it already? Isn't that something?
They do not like that.
No. And I got to add one more little thought, if I may, to the audience. It was John Harris had one game left, Thanksgiving Day, Hershey Stadium. William Penn, who did not even have a winning record, 6-6 tie. John Harris beat the number 2 team in the state, Steel High, 49-0, and got tied by their rival 6-6 at Hershey Stadium.
What was the 81-0 game?
That was against Lancaster, 80-0 and then 81-0 the next year.
Yep.
The great Jack Cassabaum was
Jack
McCaskey.
Cassabaum got the McCaskey job the year after John Harris won 80-0. He said, if anybody beats me 80-0, I'll resign on the spot. And John Harris beat him 81-0. He did not resign, but what a coach he was. Later in Elizabethtown, 2 great games against Manheim Central back in '89, regular season. Both ended 15-14, believe it or not. The district final and the last regular season game.
Jack Cassabaum was my high school coach at Punxsutawney.
Wow. He was a piece of work.
I love the man to this day.
How about it?
A lot of great coaches. Well, I'll tell you, can talk about the history of coaches in this area, and there have been a lot of great ones around.
Mike Williams against Jack Cassabaum, the last game of the regular season, '89, and 2 weeks later in the district final, 2 great football games. It really put Manheim Central on the map that year.
Yeah, that was the year that Elizabethtown had them beat. They intercepted a pass.
That's right.
Late in the last play of the game.
No, about late in the game, about 3 minutes left.
And instead of falling down with the ball,
number 21 for E-Town, I was at the game, he intercepted it, went all over the place, and he got hit. Guess who scored the touchdown? The quarterback who threw it caught the fumble on one hop. Number 7, whoever his name was for Manheim, he ran the distance. Mike Williams always liked to go for 2. He didn't want to play for OT. They went double tight, wing right, split backs. Wing went in motion to the left. They went quick pitch right to number 3. Took it in 15-14.
And welcome back to the game. It's 1:06 to go here.
We still playing?
We're in this one, yeah.
We went back to 1989 there.
We've even going back to 68 so far here. I think that's as far as going back as we've gone so far. Anyway, 54 seconds left. It's ticking right now. 3rd down now for Harrisburg. 3rd and 7, ball on the 23-yard line. Handoff, trying to get near side, and going to be taken down there by Manheim Township. Nice tackle on the play by Asher Wolf, who's made a couple nice catches today for the Blue Streaks as we tick down to 36 seconds to go in this one. Fans, you can go to HSSLiveTV.com to keep an eye out for the winter basketball and wrestling schedule. Go back and watch all the football reruns this year as well. And that looks like it's going to be just about it right now. As we tick down to 19-17, Harrisburg is going to move on to play State College in the state semifinals and a chance to go to the state championship in 6A in a couple of weeks. But ladies and gentlemen, that is officially it. And the final score, 44-6, the district championship staying right here at Harrisburg. We're going to go back and talk more about it on our Capital Blue Cross postgame report, including our Hoffman Ford Player of the Game, our Capital Region Insurance Agency Play of the Game, all here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newest dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over 30 million in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
More options, less settling, more value, and more smiles. Capital Blue Cross Medicare gives you more opportunities to stay healthy, enjoy life, and be there for the people you love. With more coverage, more benefits, and premiums as low as $0, accepted by top doctors across the country. More ways that Capital Blue Cross Medicare is going the extra mile for you.
We wake up with the sun. We live in a place we're proud to call home. For us, it's knowing that those we help are neighbors, friends, family. As the leader in providing the best orthopedic care for our community, we come together to do our part.
Welcome back to our Capital Blue Cross post-game report here. It's 44-6. Harrisburg retains the District 3 6A championship. They win the quarterfinal game here, now takes them to the state semifinals next week. They'll face State College, who was one of the only teams to beat them during the season, along with this team they beat today. And they'll get a chance for a rematch. They lost 20-6 to State College the first time around. I'm Gary Sutton alongside of Bill Chase and also Ford Chapman here for our Capital Blue Cross post-game report. And, you know, we look at Harrisburg today, 343 total yards. Lee had 181 total yards running and passing, 4 touchdowns today. But the defense today for Harrisburg was just absolutely ferocious. Bill Chase, your thoughts on that?
That was what I was wondering starting these District 3 playoffs. Whose defense was going to step up? These teams all score a lot of points in 6A, and I felt Harrisburg had the better defense of the other 7 teams in this division. And they definitely proved it over these last couple of weeks.
We didn't talk much about the offensive line for Harrisburg. Man, we can't go through the broadcast without mentioning that offensive line, because to run behind them all day was something that was fun for Harrisburg.
And I liked what they did. Since they don't have a tight end, they went tackle over, put a receiver in at the right tackle spot, and went center guard, tackle, and ran behind that line to the left numerous times, which got some success. Everything they did pretty much worked today.
You know, everything worked at Deeds. 31-0 at the half. They went on to win 44-6. The only touchdown for Manheim Township came from that pickoff by Palumbo, and he ran it back to the house, 37 yards. Anyway, let's take a look at our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game and see what that was. There were a bunch of them out here. It could have been quality plays today, but here it is. Capital Region Insurance Agency played the game, and it was this. And you can see Lee rolling right. And the pickoff at Palumbo, and this is the one great moment today for Manheim Township. They run it back. Palumbo with his 4th interception in 2 weeks. He had 3 of them last week at the big win over Hempfield. He does it again. 2 mistakes today, both via the interception for Sean Lee. And
if you notice, Palumbo, as we talked about when it happened, he wasn't even covering that defender. He got off of his man and made a great play, instinctively picking it off and running it to pay dirt.
A guy with a nose for the ball, indeed. And when you talk about our Hoffman Ford player of the game, we've gone with offensive players all year long, Bill Chase. But today, there was one that stood out. We talked about him. He had 19 sacks coming in this one. He now has 22. His name is Terrell Williams, number 2. Watch this.
Yeah, he just has a natural ability to turn that corner, not lose speed once he turns the corner.
Take a look at him again. Here he is in the backfield, coming around the corner.
And his closing speed is unbelievable.
Yes, it is. And that was a big turnover right there. This man I was trying to score before the half.
Yeah, they were actually trying to get back in the game, and he broke the ball loose there. Here he comes again, breaking through. too much. And another huge tackle for loss. This guy with 22 sacks for the year. That was more than the entire team twice for Manheim Township, and he's certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with in coming week that we have coming up here, coming weeks, hopefully, for Harrisburg to get to the state championship.
And when you don't have a tight end to help with him or a back to help with him, he's going to wreak havoc.
Well, I want to thank Evan Brooks today, who was down the sidelines with us and doing a great job. Thanks to Bill Chase and also for Evan. I couldn't work with two better pros all year long. Thanks, of course, to Charlie Fortney for setting this all up, and Brandy and Carolyn, who did a great job helping us all year long. Brandy Trossel and Carolyn Fortney. Thanks to Chad Edwards and his great and Vicar crew, and Josh Edwards up here today working the whole time. Really appreciated them. Obviously, Travis Sparks keeping the stats for us all season long. And thanks most importantly to you for watching us this year on Fox 43.2. We're looking forward to an upcoming winter season, but it's been fun with football this year. And for all of us here at Fox, we wish you a very, very happy holiday season and a Merry Christmas. We look forward to coming your way during basketball and wrestling. But once again, Harrisburg High retaining the championship here, the District 3 championship, with a 44-6 convincing win this afternoon over Manheim Township. For all of our crew here at Invicta and Fox 43, have a great afternoon, everyone. Final score, 44-6. Harrisburg wins the gold.